Welcome to Greenforest National Park, a hidden gem nestled deep within the wilderness. Brace yourself for a breathtaking escape as you explore the diverse landscapes that define this natural wonder. From majestic mountains to the ancient serenity of old-growth forests, Greenforest National Park offers a tapestry of untamed beauty and rare wildlife. As stewards of the lands, we are committed to animal conservation. In addition to elk, bison, and brown bears, the park is home to the critically endangered alpine crested wolf. If you are lucky enough to see one of these magnificent creatures, remember to appreciate them from afar. Very, very afar. Embark on an unforgettable journey along the park's captivating backpacking trails. Go kayaking and end your day with a meal in the town of Elk Wing, where warm hospitality and delicious local cuisine await you. Unleash your spirit of adventure. Park is 7 to 5 and 9 p.m. National Park Service denies liability for injuries, fatal, and encounters or unexplained disappearances. Do not provoke the wildlife.
Hello, and welcome to our actual play of Bitemarks, a collaborative role-playing game following the adventures of a werewolf pack as they try to solve a dark mystery. My name is Al, my pronouns are they, them, and I will be serving as the master of ceremonies for this tale. First order of business, Lunar Pulse and Bitemarks in general is a supernatural thriller. The tone here is serious but tropey, and it is definitely rated R for horror movie style gore and body horror, amongst other things, and violence, and all of the other things one might expect with werewolves and things that go bump in the night. If that's not for you, please go ahead and head to the Neon Lights YouTube channel where you can watch tons of VODs of less lycanthropic games. Before we get into introductions, I have an announcement to make, which is that I'm very sorry to say goodbye to one of our players, Steve, who is an amazing player. He played our enforcer, Percy. So, Steve, you're a fantastic player. I'm so sorry that the schedule gods struck down on our ability to play together, and I'm really glad to have had you. You are always welcome at my table anytime going forward. So everybody, if you would like to follow Steve, DJ Stevosaurus on socials, make sure to do that so you don't miss out. Fantastic player. I will be the understudy for this character for the remainder of the game because turns out he's plot important.
Shocking.
Oh my god, guys, literally check out this art right now though. Oh my god, Kellen made this. Sonar Fade, who plays Hollis our Howl, drew this actual gloriousness that's gleaming on your eyes right now. This is
it's pretty fucking good.
Legend.
It's pretty fucking
good.
That's
so whenever
that's
he pops
kind of
up,
an understatement.
Yeah, he's fine. This is amazing.
Thank you,
Kellen. Thank you.
It was a pleasure to drop,
shit.
honestly. And there's more where that came from eventually, hopefully soon. So.
Yes, please, Aru. Love it.
Aru.
Aru. Ooh woo. Just kidding. I won't do that. I won't do that multiple times. I won't begin the ooh woo because it will.
Excuse me. Allow me. Ooh.
Yeah.
God no. Okay, we're done. Never again. I'm gonna do that as punishment.
You brought this
Too
on
late
yourself,
now.
Al.
It has
literally
begun.
I wish I could rewind. Anyway. Okay, time for introductions. In the order I call you, please introduce yourself and who you're going to be playing tonight, including your character's role in the pack. So we're going to go ahead and start with Kellen. Hi.
Hello, I am Kellen, also known as Sonar. My pronouns are she, they. and I will be playing the Greenforest Pack's Howl, or kind of spiritual leader, shaman-y sort of deal, also known as your friendly neighborhood cannibal.
I love that you said
that's
that
just
on
gonna
stream.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be Hollis's tagline at this point. So, Hollis's pronouns are also they, she, and yeah, I'm excited for tonight.
Awesome, thank you. Moving along to the one and only Fox.
That's me. Good morning, afternoon, and/or evening, friends. It's Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as Great Fox, Philly's finest, depending upon where you find me at. And I am happy to return and reprise my role as the Devil's Hound, the Never Broken, Old Silversides, Takwikamen, or Grand Loop Afam, otherwise known as Josiah Thousand Pierced, the resident Grey Pelt of the Greenforest Pack, an old, ornery elder cryptid of a werewolf who has some personal problems to resolve right now, let's say. We'll get to that in a bit, though. Looking forward to a good time with some great people.
Beautiful, thank you. And then to my beloved Rainy.
Hi, that's me. I'm Rainy. I forgot how to introduce myself. It's
You're doing
great. It's
great.
fine.
I can prompt you.
Rainy.exe has stopped working.
So you've had a long day. Very understandable. What are your pronouns?
She, they. And tonight I will be playing Molly O'Connor, the Pax Prodigal and problem causer on purpose. Probably. Who knows? Whose pronouns are she, her. And that's it.
Beautiful, thank you. You did great. And then last but not least, our one and only, for now, Alpha. Hello.
For now, hello everybody. I'm Mike or Mikey Fatum. I go by both, and I'm playing Cal, the alpha of this pack. He's just doing his best, guys. Just doing his best.
And he's doing great.
Oh,
How good is he doing? Will you tell us via a recap?
I would love
before
to.
I have him. Thank you. Before we have Mikey start to read a recap, we've had 3 sessions so far, and for each one, I think especially if you're new coming in, it's useful to know some context. Otherwise, if you start watching this, you're going to be like, uh-huh. So we're going to go over session 1, 2, and 3.
All right.
And let's go for it.
All right. So we begin with session 1. At the Eclipse Lodge, our Howl has a dark premonition. The cub of our pack is found dead on the property, arms clawed to ribbons and blood on her nose. On top of that, the Alpha must mediate power struggles as disgruntled wolves make their displeasure known. Then, Greenforest receives a call from the neighboring Spine Mountain pack. 2 of them have gone missing, so everyone agrees to work together to see what happened. Unfortunately, the neighbors walk in on a moment of strife. Will they be able to take Greenforest seriously after seeing the internal struggles? Session 2. The body of the fawn has wandered off. When we interact with it, its skin sloughs off its body and leaves a wet pile of bones drifting in the stream. The skin is breathing. Our Howl speaks to its ghost and learns 1. The fawn is hydrophobic, and 2. It ate something bad. Drawn by matters of the heart, Jadzia goes on patrol and discovers a weirdo in the woods. Cal demonstrates his strength as Alpha by bringing our pack together for dinner. The majority are comforted by this, and we have an Airbud movie night that devolves into a wholesome explosion of fur and laughter. Our prodigal stands apart, eyes keen to the broader picture. Jadzia must be really worried about someone because he asked for help making an emergency call. It goes to voicemail. Our enforcer has a beer on the porch, filled with helplessness. He does not like problems that cannot be solved with his fists. He spills to Hollis. Shit hits the fan. Hollis and Percy are our first responders, startled as a Spine Mountain wolf rushes past in the opposite direction. Molly turns back to help. Our ally Mateo is berserk in wolf form. He tries to kill a woman hiding under some broken stumps. In a baffling show of restraint, Percy refuses to strike first, but he does strike the finishing blow. He gets bit in the process. Session 3. Greenforest, meet Yezea's old flame. Jury's in and rules that Miriam is guilty of being a raging bitch. Within minutes of meeting the pack, she wounded poor Hollis and squared up with anyone who so much as looked at her wrong. Remind us of anyone, perhaps, in his younger years. We are currently taking care of Priya at the lodge while we plan our next move. Priya needs our help to find her mate, Darius, who at some point got separated from the now dead Mateo after the two went to investigate the forest. It seems like heading up north to the Spine Mountain territory might have more clues if we are feeling brave. There are bodies to bury, emotions to be soothed, and Cal has his work cut out for him. Nobody ever tells you that being the alpha is signing up to be the pack therapist.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mikey. That was so
You're
well
welcome.
read. Thank you. I know that's a long ask. Very much.
It's just gonna get longer.
It's going to get longer. It's going to get longer. It's going to
Eventually,
get
as we
longer.
Yeah, as we continue to play, depending on how many sessions we go, literally.
By the time we
it's
get to
gonna be
the finale, oh my god, by the time we get to the finale, everybody's going to have to read off sections because it's going to be too much for one person
Yes.
alone.
You underestimate my power.
I'll read you all
Fair
to sleep.
enough.
Don't tempt me.
Oh my god.
Foxy, I challenge you to a read off.
Not the read off.
Oh.
Not a gravestone.
Before I set our scene for us, I am going to say one more thing, which is the game can get intense and it has a certain element of like PvP-ish to it. So you might see sometimes players being a little rough around the edges with each other or even kind of aggressive in character. Don't worry, we are not paid actors, but we definitely know how to treat each other right, and we so everything is well cushioned and taken care of. Nobody's actually pissed at each other. Just in case, though, because bleed does happen, we are using the X card system. So if anything ever gets funky or feels weird or you want to rewind it, guys, feel free to just X card. You can even just make the sign if I don't see a poke me. And it's as easy as pausing and rewinding a little bit and rewriting or reimagining something. So don't hesitate to do that. It's all good. I want to make sure that the story is like fun and that we're not like for example, we're not using like a really bad ex relationship, like a partner's name or something, and you're like, no, like that is a light example, but like feel free.
Yeah.
To
You want to make sure we're not playing Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah.
I mean, like Simone reminds me of an ex, but like it's cool, like it's whatever. Like, nah, I'm all good.
Okay, good. I was like, oh, in a bad way, or is it fine?
Nah, it's fine. Also, boom, Percy art in the overlay. There you go.
Yay!
Beautiful. Oh, beautiful. Oh my gosh, yes, well done.
There you go.
All right. So everybody about ready? Shall I tell us in?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
So at this point it is early in the morning and Rainy, the camera zooms in to where you are. Where are you? Where are you at like 7 in the morning? I was like, Are you sleeping?
Oh fuck, I am passed out in like a little corner of there's like been a carefully carved path.
The beer
A
nest.
beer can. I am passed out in
Percy's little beer
Percy's
nest.
Just a
hut.
pillowcase full of beer cans.
Oh, I see.
Crushed
Not a
for
pillow-
comfort.
All right. So as you lay there,
Yeah, no,
nestled in the
Percy just
beer
like
nest-
perfectly crushed a whole entire bed of beer can.
God. So as you're sitting there in your comfortable PBR bed, you hear a little on your phone, which is currently squished between your face and whatever slumped, stinky pillow you found. And it's sort of beeping, and it's using a ringtone that you recognize. It means that someone's calling into your podcast voicemail.
Oh
Might be worth a
no.
listen.
Yep.
Just what we need.
Do you pick up or do you throw the phone across the room?
Considering if I throw my phone across the room, it would be lost in the sea of PBR beer cans and bottles. As it
Literally gone
were.
forever.
I'll pick it up. Or at least listen to the voicemail, because at that point, by the time I've waken up, it's probably already went to the voicemail.
Yeah. Okay, so you open up the voicemail and there is a message for you. And when you play it, you hear, Hey Hey there, bro. It's Tickles the Rainbow Bite here, and I am calling in with a sighting. I was in the woods, and you would not believe it, but I saw something incredible. I saw old Silversides himself in the woods, 1,000 pierced, bigger than a horse, bigger than a tree, bigger than a skyscraper. He was knocking trees over his tail. Swords were jangling out of his fur. His teeth were as long as canoes. And I just gave him the 1-2. I gave him a punch on his nose and I sent him running for it. You wouldn't believe it. Anyway, I just wanted to call and say that I've had a real bona fide sighting, a real encounter with old Silversides himself. So if you ever want to interview me or even just use this on the podcast, I'm your biggest fan. Also, please answer your Twitter DMs. Okay, bye.
Oh my god.
You left that boy on red, and he deserved it.
Oh my god.
Oh, I
Okay,
knew I should've
also,
ate that guy.
rewinding back a little bit. Apparently, Percy had said that he would have put Molly on the bed proper, but the pillowcase is full of beer cans.
Oh, okay. We will amend that visual.
Oh my god.
How's it feel to know that someone defeated, you say, 1,000 pierced in single combat?
With the greatest
They're
bitch slap
lying.
in the
They're
world.
fucking lying. They are fucking lying. Yaseo would have ate them.
I'm just not getting past this motherfucker's name being Tickles. I'm sorry. I just can we take a
Tickles the
dramatic
rainbow
pause
bite.
for-
Tickles the rainbow bite.
Fuck it.
He seems like a well-adjusted person.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Well, at least I won't have to go hunting for him in the forest. So.
No
No more lost
apparently he's,
tiger to worry about.
yeah, apparently he's made it back if he has cell reception.
I'm really glad we don't find him as a puddle of living flesh.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
I wouldn't
It's
have cared that much
fine.
personally.
I mean,
Fair.
not for his sake, for the PR sake.
Okay,
For the
fair
PR's sake, indeed. That's fair, though. Molly is just... She doesn't want to open her Twitter DMs. She does not want to open the... Because she knows how many message requests are from that fucker alone.
And that's your prerogative.
That is my
So is there anything you
prerogative.
want to do? Before
She's
we
gonna
move-
just... Yeah, no, she's just gonna roll up off the bed, try not to actually step on Percy,
It's
and
difficult.
waddle her way out.
He's snoring quietly. The bite on his neck looks okay.
Oh.
Um,
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I just, like, make sure?
Yep, it looks okay. You don't have to
Cool.
make any or anything. It looks werewolves heal quickly. This one it's not fully gone, but it's a little faded.
Mhm.
So, it's not oozing or doing anything super cool right now.
Okay. Cool. But yeah, just concerning, but that's fine. We'll get through that.
All right.
We'll get through it as people.
Speaking of
As
things
long
to
as there
get
aren't like
through.
purple veins going up his neck.
We're good.
So I'm going to go ahead then, and we're going to sort of swoop forward a little bit in time. And I think it's going to be morning. That might be a good time to say goodbye to Mia and put her in the family plot, so to speak, and maybe Mateo as well. So we're going to open up in media res. Everyone is, you're going to tell me in a minute how everybody's positioned actually, but I will say you're up on the hillside that you had mentioned before. Everybody is together. People are a little dressed up in that people attempted to brush their hair at least, and like they're polite, like loving atmosphere. So my question is actually, I'm going to ask each of you a question about this funeral experience. But first, I'd like to start with our Grey Pelt. What would you say is the most important piece of a Greenforest laying to rest, traditionally?
I think there are three things, one of which is tantamount over the other two. The first is that any present member of the pack who was there must attend. If you are able-bodied and around, you have to be there, regardless of capacity. The second is that you have to ensure that the ground is clean, that there are no game animals or other creatures around in the area. You have to, push them away or hunt them down. And I think the most important thing is that, like, after you have laid to rest, there's a period of silence where everyone kind of, reflects on the person they've lost and, says their goodbyes to themselves. But there's a collective pack howl afterwards, a sort of like final send off to herald the person off to the afterlife.
Yes, fuck
Love
yes.
that.
Oh, excellent. Thank you for that.
Does that count as me answering traditions of the pack and why they exist for the sake of my move I have that does that?
No, because this is a specific one I'm
Oh.
asking everybody.
Okay,
I'm
fine,
just
fair
giving
enough.
it priority because you are the gray pelt.
Speaking
Okay,
of
fine,
moves,
fair
we gotta do State of the Pack.
Oh,
We do. Can you remind me after the
Yes.
funeral?
My
Totally.
fellow
Thank you.
Packians.
Or somebody else if we forget. Because that is important. You're right. Thank you. So moving along to the next person in line, Hollis. Who is the howl? What color is this ritual? What crystalline color do you feel as you are close to the dead? When you close your eyes and you access the mysterious realm that you're able to as the howl, what's the vibe?
Well, I think definitely there would be an element of that like light rosy pink that you mentioned that Mia's spirit had when I spoke to her. Mixed in probably with like really deep earthy greens and browns, something just natural that feels like being returned to the earth. Probably little bits of like just sparkles of light too. So.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Looking to our prodigal with her sort of healing abilities and her really on point intuition about stuff, Molly, who is in the most need of comfort in the circle right now, in your opinion?
Oof. Probably Mia's closest friend of the pact. Or pack, as it were. Like, again, we are all relatively family, but there are some that are way tied at the hip than others, and losing that person, no matter what capacity that person was in the pact, or pack, not pact, is
Holy shit, we're werelocks! Alright,
Thank you.
joke was right there. I had to do it. I'm sorry.
I liked that one. That was good.
Now I want to read that series.
I do
You.
too.
Anyways, it's still like it's gut wrenching to lose a pack member, but it's even much more gut wrenching and heartbreaking to lose that person in the pack.
Yeah, absolutely. That person is Levi, who is a wildlife rehabilitator and rock climber of the family. And he is sort of twiddling his thumbs quietly, and people have bracketed him because people know, so people are leaning on him and providing some fellowship, but he's really quiet as he sort of is really benefiting from this ritual, because death rituals are very important. Beautiful. All right, moving forward, last but not least, Alpha, what offering do you put on the grave as you all prepare to go to that moment of silence as the next step that Isaiah
That is
mentioned?
a great question. So Cal is gonna have thought about that specifically and actually probably been pretty nervous about it because he knows it's important for several days. And in the end he kind of feels like the offerings should be things that the people loved in life and would want to take with them to the other side. And so he actually he takes a set of weights and one of Mia's workout DVDs from the common room and brings them out as the offering.
That's really cute. That's fantastic. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you do it, and it's actually a really beautiful little moment. Absolutely.
Yay.
Especially, I think, for like semi-supernatural creatures, like I think it's particularly delightful. It almost reminds me of like if a dragon has a horde of unconventional things, that was
Yes.
meaningful to them. Even if you look at it and you're kind of like, what a strange thing to covet. It meant something. So, thank you. Beautiful.
Perfect.
All right, so you all lift your snouts to the sky and let loose a beautiful goodbye howl that echoes through the forest, up into the trees, and it's beautiful.
Don't mock me for my beautiful werewolf
I
howls.
wasn't mocking you. I was coughing. I had to cough. It was a cough.
There was a smile on your face.
I'm
That's
always
really
smiling. I have a
visibly.
great time with my friends. What do you mean? It's a
All
TTRPG or a trial?
Yes.
So, Alpha, I'd love it if we could do our Alpha check-in that you do at the
State
beginning.
of the pack roll.
Yeah,
Yes,
can you
I
walk
can
us
do
through what that is?
Can you
Yeah.
pull the Obama
So
accent out while you do it?
no.
Now, my fellow Packians, you'll find that
Because I know because I know exactly how much trouble I'd get in for trying to imitate Barack Obama live on stream. That would get you
Foxy, how
imagine.
dare you even suggest that?
Yes.
That was a trap if there ever was one. So State of the Pack is something that happens at the start of every session, and basically, depending on how good I roll, the pack can fuck with me or not. Let's see how we go. And that's a heart. Heart is +2. That is a 5, ladies and gentlemen. So the
Ooh.
MC may have a pack mate break a tradition or disobey my orders.
Okay. Interesting.
Jinx.
Interesting.
So what
Hello,
about
Rake.
So what about what makes you Cal, what feels vulnerable today? Oftentimes as Alpha, confidence and caring, but what about the situation, the funeral, the mystery? What is giving you a shakiness in yourself that the others might be able to smell? Like,
I think
how are you feeling?
Cal is. There's a part of him that's, trying to just be Cal and hold everything together. But there's a bigger part of him that is sort of ashamed because they're having this funeral and like closing this book on Mia's life, but they don't have any answers yet, and he is the Alpha is responsible for having answers, and so he knows the pack is looking to him for keeping them safe, and right now he has no idea what he's keeping them safe from.
Okay. That's makes a lot of sense. Like, it's lonely at the top, and also Cal is an empathetic person, and I think that the emotional labor of holding together a bunch of highly emotional and volatile, superpowered, supernatural beings it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Wouldn't it be nice if a packmate was a social worker? Couldn't we just beautiful. Thank you for that. So I'm going to hold that as MC in my back pocket, that it's possible that a packmate or an NPC might break tradition in some way or disobey, depending
One
on
of you will betray me.
Judas. All right. So after our beautiful opening there, everyone, Cal, in a little bit, you are going to be calling a lunchtime meeting for everybody to get together. So be thinking as I do this next scene, which is going to be with Isaiah. Please be, as a player, thinking about what steps you want to take next. As a refresher, let me go look at our keynotes here, if I can even find them. It seems as though what we discussed last time was going perhaps to Spine Mountain territory up north, which does involve going through the lake. So that is a thing, but it seems to be where most of our clues are pointing. Alternatively, there is the town. There are some other leads and locations. Just think about it and get back to me after this scene, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So
We're all a little silly
Just silly
this afternoon.
Yeah, we're all
apparently.
silly.
we're all just goofy. It's because
I'm being
taken
perfectly
more
behaved this
caffeine than
evening. Thank you.
It's all right. It's all right.
Actually,
Al's gonna
Foxy,
be
you
like,
are
"You're
being very
silly."
nice.
Al's gonna be like, "Oh, you guys are silly. Here's your dead loved ones. Their skin is walking."
Well, listen, just know that when that happens, I've been a good boy so far all evening.
Oh wow. Okay, Foxy.
That's so
I'm
cute.
just saying.
Somebody-
Okay,
Take into
Foxy.
consideration.
Somebody got them a praise kink.
You wouldn't be the
Don't we all
Alright.
though? Don't we all as
Oh,
werewolves?
man.
That's
All
why
right.
we're streaming right now.
Yesaya, there is a moment where after the funeral and the howl, you see down sort of, she actually has attended, but sort of down and a little awkward side. Miriam is standing with her arms crossed, all in her black leather, ridiculous, like Kate Beckinsale if she was from the kind of a vibe going on here. And she's sort of standing there, and she has a neutral face. It's hard to read at the moment, but she knows the traditions, and everyone needs to be. And it seems like she wanted to be as well. But she catches your eye and kind of goes, and then turns to walk into the forest.
I think the camera won't show Josiah respond, but like as we kind of cut to her like walking away somewhere to the forest, wherever she shows, like there's just a patch of shadow off in the distance, like, you know, kind of hit against the morning light that he just kind of melts out of.
Gorgeous. You two go for a walk. She's quiet and thoughtful. She lets you walk close to her. How do you comfort her? In what way?
I think he's really, really bad at this.
Mikey, I'm sorry,
I'm
Foxy.
so sorry.
Mikey, be quiet. It's not your scene.
I think after a long series of like silence, because he's not very good at this, he just kind of asks her like, "How long since you've last buried a pack mate?"
It's been a while. I guess I've been lucky like that. She looks like she wants to say something and then gets visibly awkward about it and sort of fizzles out.
Our remit is one of carrying on. We lose many in the long road. The benefit comes when one finds a traveler to accompany oneself.
I didn't have any choice in the traveler I got. And she doesn't say it mean. She's a little salty, but she gives you a look that takes the bite out of the words. But
Just
she
say
shakes her head.
fully joke over his head, just, neither did I.
Oh, I can see the dynamic forming. She kind of rolls her eyes and she hops lightly on top of this boulder with a, sort of superhuman boing just up on top like it was no thing. And she sits down and kicks her legs out in front of her and watches as the sun begins to crawl into the sky. And she says, "I don't know how to handle it. I haven't found something to care about. Not like you. I get it." And she kind of jerks her chin toward the Greenforest pack with a little bit of an envious smile. "I get it. You got a good group."
You speak of not
Just-
having
I
choice in one's decisions. Well, I also understand your position. Violence is comfortable when one feels uncomfortable. Would explain your stunt last night.
It's still, everything is so big. Everything inside of me is so big. It feels like it's going to burst out all the time. And it's been a century, and I can barely hold it in. All of the feelings that I had when I was human are amplified so intensely. All of the anger and fear and all the sadness I used to feel, it just comes out like anger, and I don't know any other way to be.
I believe the human term is superhuman. Yes? For things like us. They use it to explain our abilities, our lifespans, our power. And you are powerful, Miriam. Incredibly so. But it also explains our humanity. We are no more or less than the humans. We feel the same way they do. We are simply more slave to our emotions. It is a difficult process, one I still grapple with many times. You are testament to that.
One good thing about Miriam is she's always been an excellent listener, despite her high moments of temper. So when you say that she takes into consideration your words, and you can see her, after a certain age, people tend to become very good at actually hearing what people say, if that makes sense. And sometimes it means that you and Miriam are lower to answer unless she attacks. But she's definitely chewing on what you say, and it seems that some of it sort of hits for her, and she nods thoughtfully. And you say, I will say, as a Lugaro, as a special variant of were-being, what? That's meta knowledge in character.
Mhm.
Folks don't know that.
I
But
know.
what are the consequences that Miriam is facing and is going to face for denying the transformation, for refusing to become a for as long as she probably has? And
As
bottling up.
Logaro, we are even more than your standard kin, slave to our base instincts. That sort of burning we all feel in us, that call to let loose every now and then, that we have to feed occasionally to not go berserk. We feel that 1,000 times more. It's a sun within us. Josiah is as harsh as he is, as feral as he is, because he has to be. He constantly has to sort of feed and bleed into that bit of anger in himself, or else it boils over and people around him die, whether he wants them to or not. It's an incident like that that led to him, well, biting her. So I think he's not going to say anything about it, but I think both of them know that if she doesn't allow herself that moment to slip every now and then, what she becomes, what we become, is something feral in an uncomfortable way.
Okay. And so it is, because you said. So Miriam lets out a frustrated and loud groan, and there's just all of this pent-up frustration inside. She clearly is a very tormented being, and there are parts of her that remind you of you at that stage in your life. You've got a century or two on her, but it's not hard to see now that it's in front of you, some of that frustration of somebody. Like, it's weird. Getting over the 100 mark is weird. And it's clearly doing a number of being isolated and being the only Lugaro that she knows is you, and she is constantly playing hard to get about that shit. So, like, it is, yeah. But anyway, at the sort of natural end point of sort of the hike, as you all turn around and start to mosey back towards the lodge, she walks a little closer to you, and she brushes her hand against yours and hooks her pinky finger around yours, but does not make eye contact.
I think he just firmly takes her palm in his and clutches it. Doesn't make eye contact, but just clutches her hand.
Beautiful.
They're holding hands. Dirty sinners!
Next build the ankles.
No. They're just roommates. It's okay.
And they were roommates. I like how Steve just posted in the chat, gay.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Gay.
Something about it.
That's what happens when two tops date.
There are definitely people who are in opposite sex relationships who are just queer as fuck, and it's amazing. Like,
most straight passing relationships we've seen on Neon Lights roleplay have that energy. You literally can't name one. Tamir and Roxanne, Sim and Reiji. I'm just saying. Like,
Gay. Also, Yasea is incredibly hot. I wish he was holding my hand. I wish he was holding my hand.
Talk about
Both
daddy
of them
issues.
are. Both of them
Granddaddy
are
issues.
power couple. I
That's
would
what
say
happens when
both
two
of them
tops
are
date. I
power
love it.
couple. Indeed.
They're my
Yeah,
favorite.
yeah.
I do think that like if there is a last party moment before they get back, he kind of just like still without making eye contact. It's just kind of like, if you aren't returning soon, the den has been empty lately.
I think that makes the corner of her mouth twitch. Like kind of in that like, God damn it, you are such a nerd. But also like this wouldn't be the first time she's sort of taken you up on it. And she flips her hair and says, "We'll see," and then prances off to go stalks off to go to God knows where, probably a rooftop somewhere.
Just
to
to brood
see
against the
Batman.
sky.
As
He's a
she
brooder,
disappears,
yeah.
as she heads off to Sasuke herself somewhere, Jiseya's last mumble to himself is, "Well, she didn't stab me, so there's a chance still."
So you're saying I have a chance? Yes, yes.
I mean, even if she had stabbed you, let's be real.
There's still a chance if I get stabbed, but the chances increase given that I haven't been.
Sure.
All right. So, our scene now is going to open up, and I'm going to hand the camera over to Mikey and tell us where are you with everybody? Who all do you want to bring in? And feel free to, if you would like, you can just say what is true, right? So you can say, "I've explained to most of the pack to hang out here, and I'm bringing these guys." Or you can say everybody's here. It's okay to make some assumptions about what the NPCs are doing.
Copy that. All right.
If that's
Well,
helpful.
Cal has gathered everybody in the common room. He sort of rearranged the chairs and beanbags and couch to be sort of more of a circle than like everybody watching TV, because he doesn't want anybody to be distracted. If you come into the common room and see it set up like this, you know it's Cal doing his important meeting. Thing
It's
for
the
everybody.
meeting circle.
Uh-huh. There's a little like in the common room or the den, there's like this little slightly raised section near the back that's like the you know how like sometimes dens have like a conversation pit. This is like the outside of the conversation pit, so he's sort of standing up there because feels like it's what he should do, although he's awkward as hell about it. So he's just slightly taller than everybody else.
Are you
and-
wolf or human form right now? That's a question.
Human.
Then I'm next to you in wolf form.
Great. Love it.
Ooh.
Cal goes to absentmindedly scratch Yazea's ears, and then at the last second is like, "No, wait. That's a bad idea."
He is not
He
moved.
did not like it the last time. You just scratched
Yep.
behind the ear.
Yep. Just one of those like, "Oh, there's a dog here. I'm gonna no, I'm
I'm
not."
gonna know.
Wait a second.
I like this hand.
And so Cal, like once everybody's sort of filtered in and draped themselves over whatever furniture they're comfortable with, is gonna be like, "All right, things are shitty, and we need to figure out what's going on, and we need to solve the problem. So I'm instituting some of our safety protocols that we've talked about before. I know everybody likes their freedom around the lodge. I like you all having it. But until we know what's going on, we're doing two things. The first is that nobody leaves the lodge without someone else with them. And if you see anything that's even slightly weird, none of you are to go horror movie on me. You are to run back to the lodge. I don't care if it's a frog that looks kind of off color. Run back to the lodge. The second thing is that I am putting our enforcer, Percy, in charge of everyone's safety here at the lodge. Percy, I trust you. You've got this. You're gonna do great.
Percy straightens up from where he's kind of leaning against the wall, and he straightens up and is like, "I've got it."
All right, good. I am going to be doing something that might be ill-advised, but I think it's the only lead we have. I'm going to take a strike team into sorry, my brain, Spine Mountain territory. And we don't have permission to go in, so there may be some consequences, but I don't know how we can get permission to go in at this point, and I don't know
Priya
what's going
raises
on
her
up there.
paw. Priya raises her paw. She's
Yep.
in wolf form, sitting on the couch with a bunch of other wolves. She's already very popular with Juniper and some of the others. And she says, "May I go with you? I want to look for Darius, and I know how best to get to my own territory. I can be useful."
In my estimation, from the last couple of, from the last day of spending time with Priya, is she capable or is she a fawn waiting to be slaughtered?
She's a werewolf. Werewolves
Okay.
do not get killed easily.
Okay.
A semi-truck could hit her face on, and the truck would look like a beer can in Percy's room. Like,
Got it. Cool. Perfect. Love it. All right. I was going to ask you, Priya. Thank you for volunteering. I'm also going to ask Kellen, Molly, and Yesaya to join me.
Hollis.
You all,
Hollis.
Hollis? What did I say? Kellen.
Kellen.
You said Kellen. Yeah, no worries.
Wow. Weird. Hollis,
Oh,
Molly,
new
and
character.
Yesaya to join us.
A
Yeah,
meta
just-
moment.
My bad.
It's okay. It's all good.
To join us. If any of you want out, that's fine, but I think that's the best chance we have for following this trail and getting to the source of whatever is happening in our woods.
I don't know
If-
about can't. Sorry.
Were you? Go ahead.
I don't know about cannibal or tsundere over there, but man,
What is tsundere? What's that mean?
Not sneeze in the middle of your sentences.
Okay.
There's a bunch of cackling from the younger nerd wolf.
Molly is very pleased with herself. Just very pleased.
Joking
Okay.
aside, I will accompany you, as will Miriam.
Okay. That's.
Is there a problem, Calvin?
Is Miriam in the room? Let's say Miriam is in the room. Oh no, she's
Miriam
not.
is not.
Okay. All right.
Miriam is just conveniently not there.
Cal will, and then kind of shrug and be like, "If she wants to come, we could use her help. I'm sure. But make sure you check with her that she wants to do this."
She will be there.
That's not exactly what I asked, but okay.
Translation. I keep
Laughing
my
at
brats in
Molly's face.
Yeah,
Just say
I
in translation. Just say in translation. I keep my brats in check, thank you.
know.
But
I'm
that's
just saying
still
dead
not what
bodies.
Cal is asking.
Yeah.
That's still not what Cal is asking, though. Still not what Cal is asking.
Well, I
Cal
know.
makes a mental note to check with Miriam later on his own, which should be a fascinating scene. He says, "All right. Other than that, we're moving to. We're just gonna wrap this up and move on. But I know some of you may need to get together and work out schedules to make sure that you're leaving with a buddy, especially those of you who have jobs. So let's get that done. Get everything figured out so we can be safe out there. And for God's sakes, everyone stay in touch with each other. Whenever you're going out, just tell someone at the lodge where you'll be."
A chorus of okays. Everybody is on board. They get it.
Right.
And everybody is relieved. You get a sense of relief that you're trying to be a good leader at this time.
Yay!
Relief from most people. But it's hard to say where the skeptic feeling in the air is coming from. For the most part, people seem relieved to have instructions.
Cal feels the skeptic in the air, and his eyes involuntarily dart over to Molly, and then back.
And the minute Molly feels Cal's eyes on her, she just flips him the bird.
To Molly's credit, all of her doubts will be filed directly.
The doubts have been already
Yeah.
directly filed.
Yeah.
They're just getting refiled.
The
And
suggestion
HR
box
department, we've
is,
gone
is
over
full,
this.
actually.
Speaking of which, as everyone's shuffling out, just say it's still in war form. We'll just look over at Cal and just, Calvin, a word.
Yaz, let's go.
Oh, Grandpa wants to have a talk.
Cal smoothly, like there's a storage thing on the upper platform. Cal smoothly grabs a roll of toilet paper and chucks it at Molly's face and keeps walking.
You hear him just from the back. Worth it.
It's fine. Just gonna bring up the one part of the story we haven't considered just yet. So yeah, as we separate to a moment for ourselves and just, I don't disagree with your plan to investigate Spine Mountain territory. It's likely whatever affliction is plaguing our kin, we will find it there.
Thank you.
However,
I sense a butt. Ah, there it is.
we have already seen several of our kin infected by this, most of whom were Spine Mountain. Should we consider any more of their ilk to be plagued? Tradition dictates they be purged.
I believe that the most prudent standing we can put ourselves on this mission is to assume that the whole pack up there has been infected. And if we see them, we shouldn't shoot on sight, as it were, but we should be prepared for fights.
Tradition dictates their death if they are plagued.
I agree. If they are plagued. What I'm saying is, we'll know fairly quickly if they're plagued, so I guess it actually won't matter.
Very well then. Ask you to understand that should I detect that the stench is virulent enough, I will take steps to ensure the safety of this pack.
I appreciate that you will do that, Yesaya, especially as we won't have Percy with us.
I ask that you understand what that means if I do so.
You're going to kill any Spine Mountain you find who seem to be infected, and if any of us get infected, you're going to kill us.
No.
Yes?
I'm going to kill every Spine Mountain to ensure we don't get infected.
Ah. I have several clarifying questions. The first one
Thank
being,
you, Cal.
the first one being, do you intend to murder every Spine Mountain on site without determining they are infected? Or is it you see one Spine Mountain infected, you're going to then murder the whole pack? Or is it if you find they're all infected, then you're going to murder the whole pack?
We have seen, and correct me here, GM, we have seen 3 of their ilk already infected amongst the pack. If I feel a critical mass is reached, I will take my actions as needed.
I don't think that imprudent. I only ask for 2 things. We need to work out a signal in advance, something very short before you go on your murdering spree. Something that you can just tell me you're gonna go, so that I'm aware of it. And second, don't put yourself in a situation where you're fighting 6 of these things at the same time. I don't want to lose you.
Have you ever seen me hunt, Calvin?
I have. And I've seen what these things do, too.
Zaya kind of just turns and starts to begin to, like, four-leggedly shuffle around and just, then let us go see what plagues my woods, that I may rid it of it for once and for all.
Tickle's Rainbow Bright is shaking in his boot.
I was going to say, wait, can you say that again? I need to record it for Molly's podcast.
He's like,
he asked me to get any cool lines we say.
All right.
Excuse
So,
me, what is this cast and why does it involve a group of dolphins?
Oh, no. As I understand it, it's like a little seed pod that she throws out into the world.
Strange.
All right. Any other short scenes you guys want to wrap up while we're at the lodge before we move forward to the next one? I think we should also take a before we go to the next piece, but any other roleplay moments? Kellen, Rainey, Any little moments you want to grab? Or things that you want to get done?
Yeah, actually, Molly would like to have a word with Hollis.
Alrighty. You'd probably find her out in the shed checking on the deboned fawn.
Still breathing.
Yep.
Boned.
You know what? If I tell myself that's an animatronic, I don't want to immediately hurl. I don't. Can you please cover that up, Hollis? Please.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
Please.
Okay. And they'll put the little burlap blanket back over it.
Let it
After giving
rest.
a little-
Let it
little-
rest. Let it go back to
Yeah.
sleep. Tell it night stories.
Yeah. It's the night
Does it-
blanket.
Does it snore?
It's
Well,
a
if it
windbag and might.
Do you need something?
Yeah. Two things. Don't worry about the weirdo. Yasea scared off. And Molly just like plays the voicemail she got.
What the fuck was that?
There's a reason why I don't do the call-ins anymore.
I don't blame you.
They're
Well,
alive. They are alive and they're back in service, so they're probably back in town.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a relief. Special. We already have so much shit going on. Another hiker ending up dead out in the middle of the forest for
At least
whatever
that
reason would not be good for the rangers.
Also, not gonna lie, if that dude turned out like, and Molly just like hikes a thumb over to the 9-9 blanket burlap sack, still breathing, still softly rising and falling. I don't think we can hide this. We cannot hide a full-grown man that.
Better do enough pieces you can.
It would be a lot
Presuming
more
the
difficult.
whole entire skin sack stays together.
Get a good knife.
You could break it up. Just pull on it a little bit.
Oh god, no, like a giant gusher.
Get a blender. Put that bitch in a smoothie jar.
Oh dear god. Well,
This is who we are.
But also, I am worried about Spy Mountain. I trust
agree.
that Priya and Miriam aren't infected, but we can't be certain. Percy's bite is healing, but I can't really tell if there's going to be a later infection. Later.
Well, I suppose for now, if he's going to be staying behind while the rest of us go to investigate, let's hope he can keep in contact when necessary.
Yeah. Because if he goes, no one else in the pack other than either Cal or Old Man Silversides is going to be able to put him down.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, I barely doubt Cal can.
Well, together they'd probably have more of a chance, but whatever it is, I mean, we don't even really know anything about it still, aside from it's lethal, sort of. And she also points to the night-night blanket.
It must be
Please
affecting the
stop
fauna
calling it
differently than
that.
us. We will for the rest of this episode now that you've asked.
It's the night-night blanket. I mean, we don't even know how it's transmitted other than maybe through the water.
And that's the thing. Where did they get it in the water? Miriam wasn't really clear what the fuck happened with the Spine Mountain Alpha. And on top of that, the Mountain Alpha is just... Right?
Yeah.
Like, and where's that third... Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't we have a third pack running around here too? Way back before I
A
left?
neighboring pack?
Another
Yeah,
neighboring
there's
pack.
another- Yeah, there's another pack.
There's? Oh, okay.
Out of the picture right now. I'll let you know if they become relevant.
Alright, perfect.
Hmm.
But I guess in terms of Molly's question, would Hollis know that they're fine so far from the last time they've had contact? Because, again, Molly just came back after 4 years of being gone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The other
Yeah.
pack is south of Elk Lake. Excuse me. The little town, and they have a pretty active social media presence. So yeah, they're memeing it up. They have a TikTok now. They're really cutting it a little close.
At werewolves are real.
No, they're the people behind the drumstick. They're the people behind the drumstick. The drumstick TikTok ads.
Oh,
They're the
no.
ones.
Oh goodness. But yeah, no indication that this has spread outside of the park itself yet.
So far. Okay.
Hopefully you caught it early.
Hmm. Well, hopefully Percy keeps in contact while we're out there, but I mean, I think Spine Mountain is all we really have to worry about right now.
Bill,
Hopefully.
that's...
Can I be honest with you, Molly?
Yeah?
I worry that Miriam is a hunter, because she said as much around me.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if this might be something to do with more hunters. I mean, there's very little evidence of that, but...
Could be. You're not... I would not be not worried. I don't think Miriam's tied to it. From pieces, parts, and whatever Miriam's... I don't think Miriam would go this far for a total eradication of a pact. Or pack. Sorry.
It's all good.
Miriam wouldn't go this far. Herself.
But we don't know her. Only Isaiah knows her, and
Yeah, but...
they seem a little biased.
Old man's old man. Old men have so many biases. Anyways.
I don't
I
trust
understand. No, I don't trust her either. If I could throw that bitch any farther than I can, like, see her, not even worth it. But I understand your worry. I will say, though, if it has to lead to a whole entire eradication of a pack, well, it's not like I haven't done that before.
What do you mean?
I got up to some interesting escapades back home for the 4 years I was away. Let's just put it mildly at that.
Okay.
Either way.
You're home now. Hopefully.
I suppose. Well,
Been a hell of a homecoming, huh?
Yeah, sure as hell is. Anyways, we probably should. Let's. And she just like looks again at the 9-eye blanket and just. I don't like talking with that thing listening. I know the soul isn't there anymore. You've told me as much, but it's still. Take it from the paranoia of being a horror podcast writer. There are ears where we cannot see. I'm certain you're acutely aware of that.
That's such a creepy line.
Yeah.
I was like, got the shivers. I'm like, oh.
Perfect. That is fair.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right. Let's go see if Cal needs us then.
Mm-hmm. Let's go.
Beautiful scene. So you two head off, and then the hands shed wall to where Percy was leaning with a beer, listening. And he looks tired. His face is really somber. He's very much day drinking, which he sometimes tones that down in moments, not right now. And he casts his eyes, his look, he looks eye patch over to where the lodge is, and you can see through the windows people are walking back and forth, living their life. Everybody's chatting and trying to keep some semblance of normalcy and not let this totally ruin people's lives and whatnot. And he looks at them, and he looks at where everyone's preparing to go, kind of, on the outside edge of the property. And he lifts a hand and he runs and then pauses and brings his hand in front of his face. And a bunch of hairs come out. And we're going to go to break.
Oh, no!
All right.
No!
So everybody, thank you
Knew
so
it.
much for
Knew it.
watching.
Knew
We're going to
it.
take
So knew
5.
it.
And then we're going to come back to do more terrible good things. But now would be a great time for snacks and bathroom and water, whatever else you need. But we'll see you back in 5 here on Neon Lights Roleplay.
Oh, right, that's my job. Hold on.
We just stand here.
Just waiting.
Psych, we're
Just
going
wait,
right
just
now.
wait.
Bye.
I knew I was hot.
Hi, and welcome back to our actual play of Bitemarks, Lunar Pulse. We open up on our scene here with our core group here, and plus Miriam and Priya, heading up north, heading towards Spine Lake, which is, that you have to cross via boat to get to the other side and then get into Spine Mountain Pack territory. But it's a bit of a hike to get up there. What is something that you love, each of you, about this area? What is something you love about living in the park? And we'll start with Hollis, as you're traveling together. Oh, actually, I'd also like to know, please, but tell me what form you're in and what's something that you cherish about the park and you appreciate as you're heading through it.
I'll be in wolf form, just because I haven't been in wolf form all too much. I mean, that's a hard question to answer because it's kind of just everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Hollis just loves the nature and the connectivity of all of it, like how it is in a living, breathing ecosystem in and of itself. And we're just little parts of it. So that's what she loves the most.
Spoken like a true ranger. Yeah. Beautiful. Josiah, what do you love about this territory? What makes it different than some places you've been in? What about this place made you settle here for a while?
I think there are so many tales told about this place, so many stories and like relics of history and culture that exist in this park and in this place across so many different cultures and times. And I think like Say even kind of says, I guess, his thing out loud to a degree, by like as like we're passing kind of through like a wide sort of like ravine area, just say just like as like kind of quietly. I think he's Yeah, we'll say still in wolf form. Why not? Just kind of quietly, pondering forward, looking back up at the ravine walls, and kind of just thinking to himself, or I guess out loud, just, in old times, before the humans gave this place a new name, they claimed that Zinc Tuame once carved this ravine. They say I made this place.
You give us a little history fact, and everyone contemplates. Next, we have Molly. What do you love about? Ooh, I want to hear from you. What did you miss that you're seeing now on this hike? What do you see about the forest and the park around you that you missed dearly on your Rumspringa?
Isn't I?
No. I won't correct you. That was the joke. That was the joke.
No, indeed.
That was the joke.
Indeed.
That was the joke. We don't correct. It was a joke. I know. I almost went into that. Actually. First of all, Molly is in wolf form because it's much easier to get through all of this shit as a wolf because she doesn't feel like she has to keep to the trails unless while human.
There are no trails.
There are, who knows, deer trails? Maybe. It's just that human part of her brain that's like, you're not supposed to be here. You're supposed to be on the nice path. The nice path that the Rangers made so much hard work on. But going back to what Molly missed about the forest, especially as they're heading towards Spine Mountain Lake, is the scent of the trees, as it were. This before she was unfortunately forcibly turned or given the gift, as it were. She had chosen this to go on this trip with her friends because of, the forest smell. She had been here once or twice before. But it with the new nose and after being home and back again, as it were, it hits back home once more. The petrichor, the moss, the damp earth, the lichen, the various different pines and deciduous trees that make up Greenforest as a whole. And, just...
Yeah. It is all that and more.
Yep.
Beautiful. Thank you. Cal, what do you love about this territory? What do you love about...
So I think Cal initially was actually a city boy. He was not comfortable out in the wilderness. And Eric, his mate, who has passed, was the one who was big into the wilds and sort of encouraged him to come out here. And so I think as he sees and as he goes through the forest, what he loves most about it is the memories that he, like the way that the light dapples through the trees that Eric would have loved, or that he, the way the certain smells that he was always talking about. And Cal is in wolf form, by the way. And that what kind of dominates his thoughts whenever they're out hunting or patrolling, or in this case, invading territory with no permission.
But is there permission to be gained if the alpha is AWOL and most of the pact is either missing and or dead?
We'll find out.
If they can't kill us, we have permission.
I would say Priya and Miriam are kind of our de facto permission givers.
Yep.
Due to the instability of their alpha.
Miriam,
I would say
her pack, we have to remember.
I would say Zia and Miriam are our default permission givers.
More so in the let's strong arm our way through kind of permission.
They call me the key to the city.
So... Do they? Says Miriam. Speaking of, Priya is also in Wolf. It sounds like everybody is. Miriam isn't, and she's taking up the back. But there's a very strong sense of patronize and die. And she is somewhat keeping up, but she is at the back of it in human. Just as a note. She's not holding anybody back, and the way SA is running seems like it's not a problem, if that makes sense. But definitely is a little odd werewolf to not like take advantage of the fucking best part in a werewolf.
Trust and believe me, none of you fast enough to outrun her.
Full Twilight Road.
Molly would have probably fallen back a little bit and just like, because again, it's the whole like ye old medic wolf. She's still carrying her bag of supplies in her teeth and just looks up at Miriam and just motions the bag. Do you want to carry this?
Do I look like a pack dog to you? And
No,
then
I
she
just wanted
stands
to,
up
just figured I'd offer. It's kind of hard
In
to
the
hold on
dust.
to this and choose.
She took that as a
Cool.
challenge, apparently, and has now lead hard.
Ah.
Like fucking hard mode. She wasn't pissed at you, but she was definitely you. I can keep up.
It wasn't even patronizing at all.
No, it wasn't. I know.
And yet,
I'm not her, I swear.
I love her. I love her
I
so
only
much.
played her on TV.
I love her
I
so
fully
much.
know
Also,
her.
I'm racing. Also, I'm racing her. Just making that aware. I'm not saying anything. I'm just picking up my pace.
Oh my god. All right, you two, those
Secretly.
two are being so the chemistry between them is actually kind of obnoxious. It's like once
It's
you see it there, you're
gross.
like, yeah, there's like the oh my to it. It's not like overt, they don't do PDA at all scene, but it's definitely like the two of them are like she's always slightly turned towards him, even if she's looking away or scowling.
That's how
It's
I
like
like
she's
'em.
always very aware. Makes you wonder why she disappeared. All right, so along you head, and you're heading down the ravine that you had described. Actually, Foxy is that's a great visual. You all are heading down rocky, steep area, and which of you? Let me double check your stats.
1 moment.
Okay. Yesaya, how do you know that there's a threat before you see it with your eyes? What do you sense? How do you how does your spidey
That's-
sense work?
I think it's smell and instinct. It's instinct first,
Yeah.
that kind of brain impulse of something's wrong, and then smell immediately. Just something that I don't expect to smell is around me.
Yeah. Correct. The smell is weird. And Yesaya has jogged, just to paint a picture, you've jogged a little bit ahead of folks, and you all see his hackle like fluff up in the way that sometimes happens when he is cottoned on to something that others haven't. And Yesaya, you have the opportunity to let the rest of the pack know that you've sensed something weird, or you can charge ahead. What direction how are you going to handle it?
It's a choice, as in I have to pick one, yes?
I'd like to know what you do.
Well, I think what he does is just as he gets on his hackles and stops, he just, something is amiss. And in a similar way, just slow slink into a shadow and is gone.
He does
I
the
hate when he does
slinky
that,
into
but
the
it's so
shadow,
fucking
which
cool.
is extremely alarming because he's like the size of a fucking Clydesdale horse,
Yeah.
and the sudden slink into the shadow is on. Either you get to be big and stompy, or slinky and quiet. Why do you get to be both?
Yeah.
But he does, because easy say 1,000 pierced. And you all sort of
This
come
just proves he was larger earlier on and just shrank. He's shrinking, but him shrinking is not the same as us for shrinking of old age. Him being a Clydesdale horse. Need I say more? Need I say more?
I used to eat those.
So, in the trees, you sense something, and you begin to smell what you say it did. And it's a little bit of that scent, that gross smell. And as you all sort of approach, and you're not going to be surprised, you hear the crackling sound of something big shifting slowly through the tree. And as you peer through the tree line, you see the distinct outline of a moose, a
Holy
very
shit.
large moose. Mhm. So I
So
love that you
much
all were
worse.
impressed already. I
I've
love that you're like, moose, fuck!
moose before.
Moose. It's just moose. It's not
Moose.
mooses. It's not mice. It's not meese. It's just moose.
I know. I had to go through all of them before I got back to what it was.
Uh-huh. They are
It's just moose.
Yes. So this
Holy
is a very large moose, and it's beautiful. Like you see its silhouette there in the, and I would say sort of early afternoon right now. And it's shifting through the trees. And the odd thing about it is it hasn't paused. Usually wildlife, especially prey animals or I almost said vegetarians, herbivores. Usually when they smell you all, they keep a distance. Like they're like, oh, you know what I mean? And so this one's not really reacting. And as it steps through the trees, it ducks its head, ducking its massive antlers out from under the trees, and it steps into the light around the same time Yasea vanishes sort of into the dark. And you see there's something wrong. This moose is white as a bone. It has no fur. It's like a sphinx cat, just wrinkled skin clinging onto the muscles of its bones. Its eyes are blank, encrusted and roomy with some kind of liquid. Its mouth hangs slack, the bottom jaw swinging free and disconnected. And its antlers, as they spear upward into the sky in that characteristic, beautiful shape, you see that they're covered in almost cobweb-like strands of flesh connecting each tine. And each tine is stretching upward like fingers pushing through saran wrap. And you see the screaming silhouette of a human face trapped beneath the flesh of the antlers. And as you watch, it moves, its mouth opening and closing. And the moose swings its head slowly to regard all of you, and then just continues to watch. There's no aggression in it. What do you do?
Fuck.
Can I ask really quick if there are any recognizable like tattoos or markings on the human flesh?
Of the antler?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good question. No, gee, that is a fantastic question. No, not that you see, but I love that you asked that.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Just making sure.
You don't see any tattoos on him, but I that occurred to you. Yeah.
Covering my bases here.
Cal is gonna do like a little head shake that indicates caution back up, like everybody back to the edges of the road, and like try to give this thing some birth.
Let it pass, pretty much.
No. I think Cal is hoping that Zaya gets that sneak attack bonus and comes out of the darkness to get this thing started, because I think he'll say to you guys, like, we can't let it pass. It could infect other people.
It could infect us if we try to fight it.
Shit.
We've already got one potential case on our hands. I must reiterate, I am not that kind of healer yet. Don't think I'll ever be. But
I have faith in you, but
Hal's right. We can't let it pass, and Hollis is right. We can't risk infection.
All right. Well, if it's not going to directly attack us, we may not have to fight it directly. What we can do is
We could bury it.
bury it, try and get it into a trap, build some kind of pit trap or something.
You see that on the top of the ravine that you were walking through, there is some loose rock. And theoretically, if you could herd it into the ravine, you could try and crush it in an fall. It might be risky, but if you're willing to take the risk of nature doing unpredictable things, that could be an option.
All right. Molly, Hollis, go up around quietly to the rocks. I'm gonna attempt to hurt it and hope that Yezaya is around somewhere to help.
Cal, no offense, but you're a city slicker. Let the actual country girl do the hurting, yeah?
Priya gives you a shocked look, and so does Miriam. Even Miriam raises her eyebrow at that blatant show of disrespect. Priya makes herself busy looking at something else. Like she actually looks away, expecting to get your ass handed to you. And Miriam kind of starts sulking.
Oh no, did I trigger the disobey of the state of the pack? I sure did. Oops.
Cal walks over to you, faces the moose while also standing next to you, and goes, "You want to try and herd that fucking thing?"
Hooved. Hooved. Can't be no more simple than a cow.
You hear more noises in the brush. Yesaya, as you slink silently through the brush, you get sort of the drop. Before the rest of the pack sees, Yesaya, you see something more dangerous than the bull moose. You see 2 calves, and a cow must be nearby. All of them are wrinkled, hairless, and possessed of a similar scent to the infected bull. And they're wandering towards the clearing, slow and easy. They don't seem to notice at all.
Okay. So this is a cow?
Yeah.
This
No, the bull.
A female moose.
The female moose.
Oh,
Yeah,
those are
not like a farm
They're called
okay.
so they're called
was
cows
confused.
for the
I
female.
got it. Okay, all right. I don't need them.
Okay, but
Thank you.
Just for the folks at home, female moose are called cows. Calves are their babies. Bull moose is usually the males, and also the ones with the big, really widespread antlers. Sometimes femme or cows can also have an antler spread, but it's usually not as big. It's not the big, iconic palms, as it were.
Nice.
Thank you.
So what are you all going to do about this? Yesaya, you have a little bit. Are you going to interact with them at all, or let them kind of come out? I'm going to give you this moment of opportunity if you want to do something early, or if you want to keep an eye on them. Just let me know.
I think
But because you went ahead, you get the chance.
How are they posturing right now? Does the moose cow seem aggressive, or like it wants to get aggressive, given that the other moose is around my associates, or like are they just kind of like doing their own thing? Like what's the vibe I'm reading here?
As you creep closer, you'll see that all of them. It's almost like watching a video of animals. Like they're not doing anything. They're not reacting as if you exist to them. They may as well be fish in a fish tank. They're like doing what you would expect to do. Like they're walking, they're plucking at some grass and scratching an itch on their flank and stuff, and but they're not engaging with the world in a way that makes sense. And you actually see how, like, as she's walking, she's not looking where she's going, and she actually sort of stops a couple of times, kind of almost rapidly, like she's tripping on roots that a normal animal would like step over. But aside from that, she doesn't even seem like they're just moseying along, almost puppets.
I guess I'll slink back. That seems like the sensible plan for now. I mean, if they're not like posing an immediate threat, there's no need for me to like engage them early, and I don't know what their plan is for dealing with the moose yet. So, yeah, I think Ysael will just kind of like slink further back into the brush and just backpedal a little until he gets back towards the clearing and just reappear and just our friend has company, a family approaching, a cow and two calves.
Oh,
Fuck.
We
That's-
need to move back.
Indeed.
yeah.
Is there a plan in place?
I'll quickly fill in Yesaya on the rocks and the plan to herd the one moose, so that we can take it out without too much danger to ourselves. But if there's a family, that makes a difference. I don't think any of us can take on two of these things, much less herd them.
Molly has experience with herd animals, yes?
Whole entire life.
She will direct the rest of you in gathering the herd. If your plan is to crush it, I will ensure the rocks fall properly.
Cal is not the kind of person. I'm realizing as I'm thinking about this, Cal is not the kind of person who would throw away a good idea just because it wasn't his. So he'll just nod and say, "All right, let's move."
Good alpha. Good alpha.
Mike had that initial reaction of "fuck you, that wasn't my idea." I'm trying to be better than I am.
I mean, your idea is pretty. We're still keeping to the original idea of somebody herding. It's just you want to herd, but also, again, Cal would know that Molly does have the herding experience. Sure, it's not directly moose, because try to herd moose. No, nobody keeps moose.
That's like trying to
domestically
herd a bear.
Before Yesaya walks away, he will just say, as they arrive, track their path, find where they were coming from.
I will look at Molly and Hollis, and actually no, I'll just look at Hollis because Molly's going to be directing traffic. How's your tracking, Hollis? You think you can follow that path quietly?
I think so.
Okay, so that's your job while Molly and I looks up at the moose. Fuck.
Indeed.
I can stay and help until we know at least that they're secure.
I'm worried that the scuffle we're about to get into might cover the trail.
Not
Is
the
that a
whole-
legitimate worry? I don't know if
That
that's
is
a
legitimate.
Okay.
It's legitimate. Dirt and stone tend to not keep trail long, and Molly, like, she's staring these things down as they're moving in. They're not even walking right.
I'm so glad you said that because I was worried they were.
Mm-mm. It looks like they're functioning off instinct more than
They possess none of their
Bad
wit.
instinct.
They operate off of as if hive-minded, simple,
Why would
mindless constructs.
why would these ones not be violent and our friends from the other pack are?
They
We
happen to
don't
override
know.
space instinct. Docile creatures remain docile. Predators like us, otherwise.
Joy.
We don't know if Mateo got attacked first or not, though. We came into the fight in
That's
the
true.
middle of it. So we don't know if they'll attack if they get attacked first, or...
I suppose there's a chance they just stand there.
I will say, it does lend some credence with, it lends a lot of credence with what Yasea just said about docile and predatory, but also, if they're not
The
even
moose is
moving
sort
right,
of-
they won't kick hard.
They're moseying, yeah.
They won't kick
They
hard.
are softly moving as you all are chatting. Kind
I
of like
wanna-
fish drifting in a stream. So if you don't make a decision, they will.
Yeah,
eventually
we gotta
stop.
make.
Yeah.
They're gonna leave us.
Yeah.
I wanna try one thing very fast before we
Mhm.
engage with the plan. And that is Yesaya, if you don't mind. No, not if you don't mind. Yesaya, I need you to go into the brush over there as quietly as you can. Bark once and then come back as quietly as you can. I want to see if they react to the sound.
He is already gone before the sentence is finished.
Great, love it.
Yesaia's like, yes.
It's more of it's like the it's like the,
Actionable.
it's more of like the Batman thing where you're like, all right, let's go split up and find out what things are. Okay, all right, he's gone.
All right, fine.
I think rather than barking, Yesaya lets low like a grumble, like a slow belly rumble that kind of just lightly shifts a few rocks on the ground.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, you let out a terrifying like lupine rumble, and it vibrates through the earth, and you see the small rocks and stuff shake with your growl, but the calves, who are kind of straggling a little bit, no reaction to that. A normal animal would definitely notice that. Like 100%.
Normal animal would startle. A normal prey animal
A normal
would startle.
animal would be
Yeah.
running for it, I'm sure. But they don't even seem to hear. One of their ears flicks back in vague acknowledgement, but they don't react properly.
Yesaya will return back and just... That appears to have failed.
Actually, it succeeded. We know that they don't respond to threats the way they should.
Indeed. Do we have a plan for hurting them then?
Molly?
We do as cattle dogs do, buddies. Nip at their heels. Pull them in.
All right.
Keep your wits.
All right, tell me how you do it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if Cal will let, Molly's gonna take point, and I can't really fully describe how cattle dogs do. It's much more of a you look, you listen. Like think mini Aussies and sheeps out on out and about, as it were, just circling, flanking, definitely again nipping at their heels as a way to get their attention and bring the animal towards where they need to go. It's based off of that instinct, I guess. Like,
Which one of you nips first?
be Molly. She took the head. She's taking point.
All right, Molly. As you dart in, bravely going first, and you click your teeth at its heel, it doesn't react like it would to a normal. You're gonna have to actually make tooth contact. Are you willing to do that? Smells like shit. Are you willing to actually stick your teeth into this?
Well, it's better than putting her whole...
Nope.
She'll try shoving with her body and shoulder, like neck first, before going the actual
Like a tackle?
bite. Yeah, like just a push,
Like a nudge.
not tackle, like nudge. Start,
Yeah.
see if that's the stimuli they'll respond to. Because if they're just moseying, it's not like it's this is a have to go kind of
Yeah.
hurting. It's let's get you corralled in, end of the night kind of deal. So if it's gentle and it doesn't risk getting her ribs smashed and kicked in, she's fine. She'll push with her upper shoulder, as it were.
You have to rear up a little because this means huge. It's big enough to contend with you, and you thump against it to try and physically push it. So I won't make you roll anything, but you thump against it. And have you ever worn like short shorts or a swimsuit in the car and the leather seat like sticks to your ass? When you stand up?
no.
Skin feels like that. Yeah. And you peel away.
It's like being stuck in the saddle. It's like being stuck in the saddle in jeans too long. You have to really peel it off.
You feel
jeans off.
It's very, very bad and gross. And as you do that, you all watch
Icky.
it like after Molly, as Molly stumbles to the side. You hear a voice go. You hear a voice go, "Help me."
No, thank you.
Do we all hear it or just Molly?
It's a quiet voice, but you hear it.
Ah.
All of us?
Help me.
Not too fucking day, Satan.
I need to
Not too
clip
fucking
Kellen's face right now.
Yeah.
Somebody clip it. It's so good.
Well, as that plan
don't
failed.
make me-
Help
We gotta
me.
crush them. Yeah, you know
The
what?
mist
Crushing them.
turns its head
Put them out of their
slowly
misery.
around.
Put him out of the
you.
misery.
Oh God.
Put it out of the misery.
Looks at you, our beloved Molly, and its jaw hanging there moves as it quietly says, "Help me."
Sorry, this is the
And
human.
then it lowers its horns, its antlers, and makes sort of a half-assed attempt to gore at you. You see it coming a mile away. It's drunken and slow and reactive, but it's half-assedly trying to get you. Easy enough to sidestep unless you're disgusted by the fact that it's whispering in a woman's voice.
Sorry,
In a
I
woman's
didn't hear it
voice?
earlier. Is the person inside the flesh suit mouth moving, or is the moose's mouth moving, saying "help me"?
The moose
You
has
should get
disconnected jaw.
closer.
No.
You should get closer and check it out, and I can.
You
give
know
the
what?
info.
What does Molly see? Is it the face skin on the horns that is moving, or is it the
It's the
disconnected
moose's
jaw?
mouth.
Okay, it's the disconnected
it's the
jaw.
moose's mouth.
Oh,
There's a big rope of spit dangling out of the bottom, but it's still tough.
Cool. No, no
Yuseo
likey.
will come forward and shift out of wolf form into human form, and just, these things are an affront to nature. They must be ended. And if no one objects, I think we should just do that, frankly. Because
Yeah.
here's
No,
my reasoning.
Molly just
here's
like,
my reasoning,
yeah.
right? My reasoning
Yeah, no.
is, yeah, Percy got infected from what we know, like meta knowledge here. Percy got infected from like being bitten. So like as long as, and like we would know, like as long as we don't like bite these things or like get their blood in our mouth, we're probably cool, right?
Yeah, I was gonna jump into human form and ask Miriam if she still had all of her knives, so we could use that instead of biting.
Oh, can I try first? I have a plan.
Yeah, go for it.
I would
Cool.
like to first just pull Molly out of that first, like
That's
with
fair.
the whole half-assed goring, because you know we're all kind of forgetting the fact that Molly's almost about to get fucked up
she's
a
still-
little here.
She's, our maestro mentioned that it was easily avoidable and because of a drunken
Yeah, I
stupor
know,
from the
but
animal.
still,
That's fair.
let her have her danger. Fear of danger there, especially with the fact that it's talking to her.
That's fair.
It's just Molly
Does Molly freeze
she's
up?
both.
Is Molly afraid?
No, she's moving. She is out of there. The moment she hears "help me," it's just the horror movie instincts kick in, and she's backing out, far away from, as best as she can, back to the regular group huddle, and just immediately like flops back into human form. Probably got that slight. There's probably a sheen of that sticky, gross, infected skin stuck to her upper arm and shoulder, as it were.
You chose that.
I did. I'd like to think
love it.
it's stuck. I just like to think it's because it's so gross, it's so oily, and it's so pervasive. It's affecting back into her human form, too. And Molly, again, just looks at
All right. You say,
Kill
what
him.
are you doing?
I want to try to kill these things. I want to fully just start putting them down.
Okay. Let's take a gander. Are you planning to maul them? Is that the vision?
I'd say mauling is a pretty
Or-
appropriate situation for what's about to happen.
pack, maul, pack,
Okay.
maul, pack, maul, pack, maul.
You could actually use a pack move if you wanted to, which I will remind you all is super fucking badass and will get the job done. So to clarify, this might be a good time because you guys have already earned 3 pack, which is super sick. So any pack member, Isaiah, possibly, can choose to make one of these moves when the pack is acting unified as a pack. That means at least 2 of you are standing together and acting either on order of the alpha or in accordance with the traditions. You can, in this case, how many do we have? Oh, balls, we don't have quite enough.
It's all right.
Aw.
I can.
Oh, you guys are so close to defend territory. Isaiah,
That's all right. I'll just
roll teeth.
maul. Well, roll teeth. All right. I got
Roll
teeth
teeth.
0, but let's see what we got. 2d6
Roll
here.
teeth, but don't use teeth.
That's a scatter die. We're not playing Warhammer 40k. Got it. Double 6s.
What did you get?
2 6s.
2 6s? Okay.
2 6s.
That is a success. So,
I like when I succeed at
Isaiah,
things.
you do succeed at things. Molly, as soon as you dart away from the goring head, suddenly Isaiah is there, silent as hell. There's a crunching noise as this thing gets the people's elbowed into the ground with like great. There's like literally a crater where he just bam. And you're in human form, aren't you?
Yeah,
But he got Yamcha'd.
Yeah, no, I think it's even more. I think it's less like a like into the ground. I think it's like as like tries to gore Molly. Yesaya like gets a hand around one of the antlers, as it were, and another around like a leg, picks it up and just tears it in half.
You give it a rip.
Fuck yeah!
You give it a rip, and
Oh my god.
it actually
Give it a
you
rip.
do it because you already say 1,000 pierced. But it's surprising to note, out of all of the year, you let the beast come out. Out of all of your years, you've ripped apart a lot of things. This one's kind of stringy. It's actually kind of difficult. It happens,
Why
but
is
it
it
happens
stringy?
like yeah, it happens gross. But you do it. You rip it apart, and in a shower of ichor black blood, its innards splatter onto the ground on top of you, everywhere, soaking your fur, splattering on Molly. Priya screams and jumps out of the way, and you are holding fucked up head of Moose and Moose haunch in the other arm, and
still
you
talking?
have, huh?
It's still talking.
Who's still talking?
Is the
The
head still
moose.
talking?
Is the moose.
Is the moose still talking?
Oh, no.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Phew.
No, it is stopped, and also it's not breathing or acting like the fawn.
Hmm.
It
These
just
things
seems
can
good
die.
old-fashioned dead, hopefully.
Hmm. These things can die.
And as you do that, out comes the calves and the cow, and they don't even react to the gruesome scene. Like a normal animal would be like held to the now and run. They just keep wandering out like they do.
And I keep going.
Yes, I won't make you
Um,
roll.
Then yeah, I'm just gonna walk up. Like we'll drop the back half. We'll keep the head half. I'll walk up to the cow and just with the good half
Oh,
of
no.
of it just smash.
Using the
smash,
antlers.
Smash.
Use the
Throw it
answers.
aside. It's I won't describe the rest for the sake of harm to animals lines here. It's very much not a pretty scene. Like he is
I
literally
would say this is
ripping
harm
these.
to monsters.
Yeah,
This
like
is
he's
dear reader.
Well, these are
to
no
be
longer
clear,
animals
these
anymore.
are
That's
not
fair.
cute moose. These are horrifying monsters vaguely inspired by a moose. So fear
Excuse
not
you,
on that
they
front,
are
I
now
would say.
chunks of horrifying monsters vaguely inspired by
Oh,
moose.
yes, of course. Pardon me. They are chunks.
But also for the sake of not going too far into excessive gore
Yeah.
for some of the audience,
Obviously.
for weaker stomachs that we did not warn properly ahead of time. If you're
Yes,
feeling
no,
queasy,
It's
hit
messy.
the exit button like Al said in the intro. But if you just poked your head in,
Enjoy.
you can leave at any time. You can leave at any time, folks.
You have the
You're
power
perfectly
to
fine.
close
your
We won't
tab.
blame you.
But if you're into this, we don't judge you.
Totally not. Welcome to the show. It's gonna
If you're
get
into
messy.
this-
Put on your raincoats.
Sorry. Excuse me. If you're into this, you're welcome.
What can I say except you're welcome?
You're welcome.
Except help me.
These days,
I'm so glad
an
I found a
animatic
group.
person. Yeah, one
Uh-huh.
of these days, an animatic person's just gonna find this particular show and most
Yeah.
NLR shows, and we're just gonna have this bullshit
I need it.
animated.
I need it.
I
need
hope
it.
so. That would be awesome.
So
Mhm.
Cal, how does seeing Josiah take care of this problem for you, comfort you? How does this make you feel safer?
Comfort.
It makes me feel safer. No,
Why not?
no, it does. I honestly, Cal really thought that the moose were going to be a very hard thing to take down, just on pure size alone, even if they were docile. So seeing Yesaya just rip one in half with his bare hands is very comforting. And I think the first time that he rips it in half, you know, the reaction that I as a player had is also Cal's reaction of just like, Jesus!
Yeah. How about the rest of you? How do you feel about watching Josiah peel somebody into?
Well,
I
go ahead.
Molly feels very relieved, and also a little touched that Yasea would protect her like that, even though it's it's for the whole entire thing of protect the pack, protect territory, get rid of this weird infection. But still makes her feel comforted in the fact that Yasea still views her as part of the pack, even if other previous conversations have said otherwise.
His actions speaking louder than words. Yeah. What
It's
about
not like
you,
I
our
like you or
beloved
anything,
Hal?
but Baka.
This is love language, destroying enemies and then making sure people know they're safe.
Rip and Beer Monster in half for me so I know it's real.
I mean, that's how you and Miriam first got together, so.
It's an anniversary gift.
Just the head of this monster.
Like a cat bringing a bird, except for it's extremely bad and.
Yeah.
At least it's not saying help me, and at least it's not still breathing.
Yeah. Well, no.
We don't know that for sure, I guess.
No, Al confirmed it. Al confirmed
okay.
it because Yasea did check if the head was still talking.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I
You
kind
had
of
a
love
good
the
view.
moment of Yasea just like tearing it in half, looking at it, just walking over and beating the other one with it.
That being said, Kellen or Hollis, how do you feel comforted by this?
Honestly, I don't. Like, I am
That's
glad
fair.
that they are no longer walking around and potentially leading to more problems. However, it brings up a fuck ton more questions than we already were dealing with before. For multiple reasons.
Yeah.
There's our Hal using the brain. There's our brain cell.
Al's got it.
So there's
Just the one.
good. If in all of this nastiness, as you all are wiping your paws on the grass and like kind of making an effort to get this nastiness off, it's good to know 2 key points of data that were useful is one, there could be more of these, right? If you came into contact with these fuckers, be more, probably best to assume that yes. And then 2, they can bleed and they can die. Not everything is like the fawn skin, if that makes sense, it seems like. And
I mean, I feel like if we'd beaten the fawn skin with a decapitated moose, maybe that would have had an effect.
There's still time.
I mean,
Keep this with us. You say holding it up. I'll keep
boneless
this with us just in
sack of
case. Okay, but did you tenderize it? Have you tried that yet?
no, because it's a fun.
I'm sorry, Al.
I will say also though, it makes sense that Hollis. God, I'm doing what Al did. Sorry,
No, that
sorry.
was me. That wasn't Al.
It was Cal. Was it us? Who knows?
It was me.
It passes
Kellen.
along. Kellen, Hollis. It makes sense that Hollis is a little bit more trepidatious about this immediate harm to it, even if these things are Eldritch horrors twisted beyond right and reason, because Hollis is a park ranger, and park rangers are at large conservationists at heart, including the wildlife of the forests and the areas that they are deigned to protect.
Mm-hmm.
Conservation
also-
law. Yay.
Yeah.
All right.
But also, the rate at which we're finding more and more of these infected creatures is becoming exponentially worrying. So, we better get a move on.
It means we're nearing a
know what it's-
source.
At a certain point, I wonder if we should just, I don't know, call this in to somebody.
I will say on a meta level, do not want to do that.
Okay.
Like,
Who do we call
absolutely.
into?
I will say, like,
Ghostbusters?
yes. The one thing I actually, as an MC, out to gently invisible wall the guys on. So sorry to do that. Is
No, it's fine.
don't worry too much about calling in humans and whatnot. Like one of our lines into this nonsense, and I don't want to roleplay that. You guys don't want to have it. Let's just, one of the things we can gloss over and understand is that you guys are badass werewolves and you're remote enough that you can take care of some stuff on your own. Now, if you mean calling a different pack, that's okay. But if you're referring to like the National Guard,
get somebody to
Get the president on the line.
suboptimal in that
okay.
case
Got
is
it.
my suggestion.
Got
If
it.
you were human, that might be more viable, but as it is, you'd be in far more danger.
Also, that's giving humans too many questions and too many answers about being right about things when we, as an entire historic species, especially species with access to the internet, have now been trying to, like, obfuscate so we don't get new hunters that can actively kill us, right?
Yeah.
We don't need to turn into the
Consideration, though.
next Jersey Devil, goddammit.
Okay, consideration now.
Unencrypted.
The humans show up, they fix the problem, and then we kill them all.
Oh my god.
I don't think the humans have any way of solving this problem other than, like, a lot of big guns. And I really don't, as much as I don't want to fuck with demon moose, I don't want to fuck with big guns either.
I dislike guns.
That makes one of you. Meanwhile, Miriam is sort of standing over the bodies batter on her face. And she actually seems to be, she's put on gloves and she seems to be actually examining the, like, some of the corpse, like lifting up some of the skin and squinting underneath it. See if she can find any goodies. And at one point she sort of wrinkles her nose. Well, that's extra nasty.
Assessment?
I'm gonna walk over because I want to get a closer look at the human that was inside the moose.
At the antlers, or the it's hard to the touch. It's no longer moving, and it feels like what you imagine bat wings maybe would feel like.
Okay.
Wings.
Oh, so like the webbing between our fingers, but thinner.
Rubberier.
Okay. Sorry, I may have misheard the description before. Is there like a full-on human in there, or is there just a
there
face
was some,
that
like,
looks just
human
just a
faces
face?
in the flesh on the around the antlers was
Got it.
the
Okay.
yep.
Okay.
And
But yeah,
it was
as-
moving while the moose was alive,
Yeah.
but
As-
not anymore.
As Miriam is saying that's super nasty, just say Yesaya just looks down and it's just assessment.
What did he say?
Assessment.
Like he's asking like what that is, like what's up, what you got, like.
She reaches an arm in with a wet squelch and pulls out a human leg with clothing. What do you think, a size 8? She drops it on the ground and shakes some off. This is vile. I have never seen something so unholy before. This is disgusting. And my nose is ruined, in case the rest of you hadn't noticed. Pretty sure all of my nostrils are burnt off. And sure enough, your noses are dead, completely killed by the smell, which feels like wearing earplugs.
Wow. I will say one thing, given our house assessment, if we are encountering more of these things, we are nearing a source.
Agreed.
Are they eating the humans?
I have bad
seems like-
news, says Priya. I think I recognize that voice.
Who
I
was
think
it?
that was Savannah.
Your pack mate?
Yeah, Savannah. It sounded like her. I mean, maybe I'm just imagining. Maybe I'm just freaking out. It's probably just that, right?
Priya.
Could be.
Madame de Morgan, you are possessed of supernatural senses as a howl. Can you feel anything recognizable? Can you sense kin in this corpse?
I'm not sure my powers work that way, but
Please don't eat it.
You get the sense that would be bad.
Indeed. Ill-advised.
yep. Yeah.
Molly's just like looking at that leg the leg that was pulled out by Miriam, and just sort of doing her best to block Priya's view of it. What was the last thing Savannah was wearing that you remember seeing her in?
Oh, I have no idea.
Cool. Great. That's great. Tattoos? Anything?
No.
I-
She was white as hell. Very fair. Some freckles.
Does
Although I
that match
doubt
the
you'd be
leg?
able to see it. Does it match the leg? The leg is still covered in purple, gross blood. It's just.
That's fair.
I think we have to. If there were multiple faces in the antlers, I think we have to consider that this thing absorbed multiple people. I'm gonna take a look at the. Actually, I'm gonna bring Molly over to the like ripped open side where Yazaya ripped this thing in half.
Mhm.
Are there? And Molly, is this, as far as you can tell, what the insides of a moose should look like? Like, what are we seeing inside the moose?
Looks like a moose, with the exception of
normal
that
moose.
one.
Looks like a moose.
So it's the normal moose, the normal expected moose innards. If we had taken a look at like you know, like one of those Discovery Kids books of like, this is the digestive tract. Or this is what a moose looks like on the inside of where all of its vital organs are, etc., so on and such forth. Like, you know, like a very straightforward like a very straightforward animal science artistic illustration dissection.
Cal, I made you a cross section.
A plus. A plus.
A plus. Good
Uh,
cross section, cleanest cross section ever.
Yeah. Okay. That thankfully that gets rid of my a bunch of humans melted and formed a moose theory. All right. We
That's
should bury or burn these bodies.
Burn it.
I'm gonna. Okay.
Burn it.
I
If
trust
they
your
are-
instincts.
if they're former pack or former kin, we can't give them proper rights. Mateo was pushing it.
We can't put this back into the ground. We know that. Well, okay, we don't know yet how.
Better safe than
The
sorry.
infection.
Contamin.
Yeah.
We don't want
Better
to.
safe than
infection
sorry.
spreads. Putting it back into the ground, though, that's gonna poison everything.
That first
Okay.
creature you spoke with, it mentioned the water. I am certain if we follow where these things are coming from, mayhap we find that source.
And it ate something bad on top of that.
It ate the grass,
Oh.
fed with the water in the ground.
And we know what we're
Oh.
looking for. We burn these and
We
carry
need to put-
forward.
We need to push all the pieces into the ravine and set it alight, and then keep going.
Easily
Get them
done.
into a pile. Build a rock circle around them so that we're sure the fire doesn't spread.
Yep.
You do it.
Following that instruction, Molly just like rummages through her entire medical bag, pulls out a whole ass thing of gasoline, like a general thing of like the fluid,
like a little jerry
charcoal.
can of it?
Yeah, a little jerry can of gasoline for like, you know, coal lights or for something to quick light something for cauterization of wounds, and a lighter.
Miriam looks impressed.
We're werewolves.
it's easily
I can't treat
done.
us by normal means.
No, it's easily done. If that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Drag the nasty ass pile of skinny little bodies. You pile them up. You make a rock circle. You guys are experienced in the park. You know how to prevent forest fires. Burn it. It smells like a tire fire, but the bodies are burned.
Let's say we're upwind when it starts
Yeah.
burning. So,
I mean, our nostrils are dead anyways.
yeah, but
I'm more worried about breathing in particles.
Fair.
Yeah.
We don't know how this
True.
thing spreads.
It's
Yeah.
true.
So
I believe that our fair game runner would also be very kind to us and make sure that there is a downwind gust.
Oh, absolutely. Of course. I feel like I've been a little gross to you guys.
I've been having a great
Alright.
time personally.
Yeah,
Mhm.
seriously.
It's great.
It's gross
Good.
and it's fun.
Oh,
Yes.
you guys are such good sports. All right, tell you what, we are at 2 hours and 30 minutes or so. My voice is threatening to give me out. Never have. But if you guys are up for it, I'd love to get you toward the lake, or maybe even like on the lake, at least, so we can have that to open up on the game. Are you guys down? Do you have that
Sounds great.
energy?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yep.
Works for
Let's
me.
do it.
Are you guys okay to push forward, or do you need okay if we just
Do you want to get arrested?
I'm
So you get like some water in, and
Let's-
like you take a like.
Yeah, let's
lunch
get
break
you
for a
some
minute?
water because your voice
I'll
is
get
doing
some
that weird
tea.
cracky.
Yeah, let's do that.
Join
Let's,
me
Okay,
on
I'm
the
gonna
let's
grab
t-shirt.
tea.
you. Let's reset, and then we can take it from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here, I
Alright,
got you.
sounds great.
No, I got you. You hold tight. Friends, we'll be right back in a few minutes. Don't touch that dial or that browser. We'll be back with more Bitemarks Lunar Pulse. See you all in just a few minutes.
And also, if you have a dial, what are you watching this on?
Listen, I don't listen to technology, all right? I don't want technology shame here. Good luck. Bye.
Right.
Oh, they're gonna
do
get.
the whole. Oh,
Yeah,
we're
they're
live.
gonna have fun in the scare zones then.
Yeah.
By the way, I cold opened this, by the way, in case y'all are curious. We're live. Hi, friends.
Oh, shit.
Hey!
Damn it,
Oh.
Foxy.
I'm so
I
glad
just
wasn't
said we're
picking my
live.
nose. God. That fear you have where you're on
Every show gets
Wedgie.
one Foxy cold open. This was your moment, Bitemarks. You're welcome.
Thank
Gosh.
you. It's like weird.
Welcome
like
back.
Molly called this. Ears where we
Mm.
can't see.
All right. So, welcome back, everybody. Our scene is back up as our pack is sallying forth, and in the distance we see the rancid smoke of the burning corpses that you have done as you're leaving. Seems like a solid choice to do. Like, when in doubt, burn that shit. Speaking of, that seems to be a fairly way of getting rid of. I don't know, but definitely trust Hollis's opinion. So along you go. At some point, Priya and Miriam sort of take the lead, and they show you all. They actually lead you to a trail that is getting up north, closer to where they are. It's an area that you don't often have occasion to go to. And you, despite the fact your noses are sour, that horrible oily smell, you can still smell the water as you all are approaching. And soon the tree line opens up, and you see Spine Lake open up before you. It's this very long, almost bubble-shaped lake. It has rivers on either side. It bisects a large area, but it's called Spine Lake because it thins out in certain parts and gives the impression of vertebra from above. There is a small dock that you all come up to, and there's a motorboat that has pulled up and is hitched at the side of the dock. And Priya stops in her tracks and goes, "Actually, I don't know if I can do this." And Miriam slaps her on the back of the head. "We're doing it. Come on."
Hey,
And Priya, oh, go ahead.
no. Don't attack people who are under my protection, please.
She's my pack. And Miriam turns and muscles up, and you're barely 5 feet tall. I don't take
Blast
orders
off.
from you. She suddenly, now that they're almost on their her hackles,
Miriam, you don't take orders from me. That's why I said please.
she
also,
turns around.
when was this your
Stops
pack
back.
again?
That's enough.
You
all of
seem
you.
to have invented.
We have more important reasons to be here.
Molly, I appreciate
Miriam,
the backup, but don't make the situation worse, please.
Priya slinks after Miriam. She's actually still in wolf form, so when Miriam cuffed her,
This is just a little
nevertheless,
like,
still rude. Yeah, kind of. Although if she's in werewolf form, she is ginormous, so that slightly changes the view of things. Makes it a little less offensive, but I stand by Cal. I stand by what Cal said. So yeah, Miriam goes down and gets into the boat fearlessly and starts clearing out rope and setting things up for all of you. There's enough room for everybody to get in. Priya reluctantly transforms back into human. She picks up a pair of like bikini shorts that are actually in the bottom of the boat and kind of squidges them on, but it's mostly just vague politeness where we care in the same way people do. And then she actually reaches down and there's like emergency water bottles stacked under there, and she starts trying to pass them out to people if you guys are thirsty. They're like the mini kind that you get in, life jacket packs and like the little like hand.
Oh, the little baby bottles.
The ones that are gone in one sip, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
the
those.
ones that are like you take them, you're like, yes. Like, anyway, but she still offers them.
Double cat.
Oh yeah, she's been having the zoomies in the background.
I love zoomies.
Yeah, we both got some nice voids.
Oh, her name is Neptune.
Oh, that's just Silk. Anyway.
Perfect names for both of them.
Okay. So, what? I'm going to go around and do some questions. Starting with Cal, what is beautiful about Spine Lake that you notice? What makes it special?
I think Spine Lake has this sort of natural, it's kind of like an algae that grows in certain spots of the lake, and it's pretty rare. It's only found in like this region and like one other place of the world, and the sun kind of bounces off of it, so it gets this really like sparkly quality at times of day like this that wasn't there normally.
Amazing. That sounds so beautiful. Is it like almost pearlescent, or is it
I mean, I think during the day it looks, just like normal algae. It looks kind of gross, and then it's like at a certain hour, sunrise and sunset, it bounces, the sunlight bounces off it, and it turns it kind of pearlescent.
And it's about that time of day now. Convenient. Going opposite track. Rainy. Oh my god, I love that. What's the weather like right now, would you say? Can you be our weather guy? What's it
I will be our weather woman. I'll be our weather person for the day, yes. Molly's what the weather, see, the interesting thing about Spine Lake is that most would assume that calm waters are what makes it the best, but going off of the algae that sparkles almost pearlescent, it's fine in still water, but when you get that not super rough chop, but more of a slightly gentle breeze, it ripples the lake, and then the ripples of the waves wash over the pearlescent algae, just making it more shimmer and shine. Like there's more to it there. I would say we are about that type of wind quality for it, and maybe edging on just a little bit too close to like not be great for fishing and make the boat ride, unfortunately, a little bit rocky. I would say we're overcast though, as we're starting to hit maybe just towards that point of the second point of the day where it's heading towards dusk, because we've spent most of the day trying to get out here. The moose thing, though short, still took a bit of time, especially with setting up the fire pit and bonfire. So I'm presuming we are overcast, starting to get that weird overcast clouds, but that color underneath them as we're getting close to dusk.
I can picture it. Thank you. Yesaya, I remember, I have in my notes that Yesaya is not comfortable with deep water. Why? Why doesn't he like it? What in his past made him? Has he had fights on the water before, or is it just the healthy fear of the unknown?
I think it's bifold. On one, it's the simple, like, as someone born in a time far before humanity explored the oceans, Jose has an incredibly healthy fear of water you can't see the bottom of. Because you don't know what's in there, frankly. And so I think there's that. I think on a more personal level, Spine Lake has a lot of personal connection to him that he doesn't like to easily address. I think there is. I'm not sure the details of it right now in my head personally, but there is an incredibly intimate moment between him and Miriam. Likely before Spine Mountain even fully coalesced and formed a pack here, the two of them spent some time here at this lake, and the memory is comforting when it comes up, but whenever the memory fades, it's always bitter in the aftermath.
Thank you. And then last but not least, our magnificent Howl. You've been here before. You've actually gone here a few times as a ranger on duty. How does the lake feel a little different than usual today?
That's a good question. I would say it feels like, you know, that kind of sense of not dread necessarily, but like that change in pressure before a storm.
Yeah.
It feels like that.
Yeah.
But close to the water, especially.
And so it is. It does. It feels like that distant ozone crackle. Yeah. Your fur stands on end just a little bit with it. A slightly static feeling. Midge dusts her hands off. She's got motor. All right, everybody, human form. Let's go. Not enough room for you, furball.
The woman, shall we?
Fine. I always hate doing this. Ouch.
Does Molly not really care for water, like, for being on the water?
She really doesn't like being on really choppy boats. She, unfortunately, much like me, the smaller the boat, the easier to feel the waves, the easier to get motion, water sick.
Oh, I totally get you. Fair, okay. All right, so is it safe to assume everybody is okay with?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. All right, so that Miriam unties things, and you know, the motor comes on, and you guys begin the way slowly across the lake. And as you're looking out over the swirling dusk, the algae is doing a magnificent thing that nature photographers are obsessed with, coming to visit. And the waves are sort of in that funky, like, in-between place where occasionally it's a little yucky and choppy, but once in a while it's nice and smooth. Hopefully Molly's not feeling too vomitous. And it's interesting to note there is a figure out on during the daytime. Typically there will be kayakers all over the damn place, but usually in this weather and about this time of the night, people are heading back to town and like they're long back on the river before things get dark, even in the summer. But there is a straggler out here, seems to actually be in a kayak, and maybe fishing or something. His back is to you out. It's going to be about 20 minutes or so across the lake. Anybody want to do anything whilst on the lake? Taking in the sights? Miriam squints at the lone kayaker suspiciously.
Yeah, I think Yesaya is doing similarly. That's an anomaly. He's certainly not, I mean, A sociable
hate
person would call
kayaking.
out to them. Oh, I think in response to the I hate kayaking, he looks at her and has a brief like memory of the two of them in like one of those dual kayaks and just he didn't always.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm imagining in the memory that you, and I think she has one of those laughs where she snorts. Yeah. Do any of you call out to the kayaker?
Yeah, I think I do. Cal
was-
is
Yeah.
just gonna be like, "Hey, friend."
You call across the lake, "Hey, friend," and your voice sort of the way, and the kayaker sits up a little straighter but doesn't turn around to face you, and Miriam narrows her eyes.
Miriam, Priya,
This
look like
seems
anyone you
weird.
know?
No. And Priya's like, I don't think so. Look, it's just somebody in a boat. Let's just let them. Sure, maybe many beers. We have other stuff to be focusing on. I want to find Darius.
I agree, but I also don't want to leave our back exposed if something weird is happening. Which way is the wind blowing right now? Towards that guy or away from him?
Your scent would be blowing towards him.
Okay. So we can't just sniff him out. Damn.
Continue your approach. I'll remain vigilant.
All right. Miriam, give him a wide berth, please.
Miriam turns the boat towards him and starts rowing.
Ah, there it is! There it is! There it is!
Miriam turns and narrows her eyes, and you can see the gleam as she sort of narrows her eyes and is like, no, there's something weird. And she begins to take you all on the
Do not head
goddamn
toward
boat
the weird, Miriam.
towards the weird.
We head towards the
And
weird.
I
I'm
think
actually
that might be a pausing
Ah.
point. Seems like it might be a good spot. However, it might be cool too to be an ideal place to end. I would love to give you guys vignettes of how you're feeling about the sudden decision, how you're feeling about specifically the man on the water who's not reacting to you all. I want to know how you feel about it. So let's go around and we'll start with our Hal. What's your intuition telling you, Hal, about this fella?
That Miriam made the right decision.
Mm-hmm. Fabulous. Going down the list, Yesaya, how do you
in a similar vein.
Fuck
There is no single person I trust more in the world than Miriam, and thus, so if her call is that we need to investigate this person, then he thinks that's the right call.
So romantic.
Huh.
You know the romance is good when they respect their music.
It's true.
Harder to find in a sex relationship than you'd think. Yeah. All right, says the queer angrily. Okay. Moving along to our beloved Molly. Molly, who has her head screwed on straight, thank God. How does Molly feel about this situation? It was supposed to be a 20-minute boat ride from one side to the
Oh
other,
my
and now it's
fucking
turning
God.
into
Yeah,
sudden
no,
investigation.
it's sudden investigation. Oh my fucking God. We don't go head towards the weird. How many times have I have to scream at you all? Don't run towards the thing that's going to fucking stab you, so I have to stitch you the fuck up. But also, it's concerning because this person might not be a person anymore. It might be the early stage of whatever the fuck those moose were. And summarily, it is keeping us away from Percy longer. And Molly hasn't checked in on Percy yet, but she's worried that things are going wrong back home at the lodge, and we may not be privy to that. Also, on top of this, we're supposed to be heading over into Spine Mountain, like their main territory over there. We're fucking it's fucking ducks in a water kind of situation, and we may be leaving our back open because we're heading towards this thing, because Miriam decided why the fuck not, without much other explanation than something's weird.
Yeah. it's a pretty flimsy comment, really. It's weird of her to be doing that. Really
Flimsy
rude.
comment. So far, Miriam's exacted better judgment, or as good as judgment as Yasea has. So this is out of left field, and Molly's concerned that something finally fucking snapped in her, and it's not great. Anyways,
Yeah.
that's my whole ramble. I'll turn it over to our alpha.
I think Cal is super creeped out by this thing on the boat that's acting almost exactly like the moose did, and he's tensing to dive for the controls of the boat and wrest them away from Miriam. He's pretty
Super
sure
fair.
Yazea is going to kill him for that, but you know.
It's Yafa's job to keep people safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you might. Yeah, I definitely as an alpha, you're gonna want. It's just such a shame you rolled a 5.
I know.
Otherwise, you might have gotten more
Such a
compliant.
shame we got all this great story out of it. So terrible.
Indeed.
Such a shame that
Beautiful.
5 just decided to do that, but it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It'll be
Perfect.
fine.
By the way, perfect use of that, Al. Perfect
Oh,
use of that.
thank you. I thought so too. All right, beautiful. So on that note, we see the screen fades with the shimmering of this spine-like algae that's famous across the lands, and we zoom back out. And now we're going to go ahead and do a little afterward. You all are fucking awesome. This session was like the pacing I thought was pretty good. Like we started.
We were going at a bit of a faster clip than I thought we would, which is nice because we spent the last 3 like kind of slow, kind of in our feelings, and as you said, we're hitting the. Well, 2 was also this fast clip. 2 was also this fast clip, so I think we're doing a little bit of a ebb and valley kind of situation, which with
hope.
these 10 stories actually works better than just going go, 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 go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good. Yeah, I think that was really good. Let's go around and Hugh, if you had any you want to share, would love to hear them, like highlights from your characters. And then also if you have any stars, so to speak, to give out to others, like moments you thought were really sick or were impactful in some way, or that you just liked. It could be anything. So I think I'll go first. I think one moment that was with Yasea and Miriam, and it was just the moment of them sitting together and going in his own way, like bringing wisdom and showing that he cared, trying to take seriously Miriam's concerns and connect with her. I thought that was really sweet. And as a role player, I was impacted positively. So thank you. I enjoyed that.
And I love her. Anyway.
All right. Kellen, do you have any like stars or highlights of your character that you liked? We can also skip ahead too. We can totally. If you're thinking. Yeah.
I mean, that conversation with Molly was really nice.
It was
good because they haven't had a honest kind of conversation like that yet. So that was nice.
Thank you.
And related with that, also a star because A+. That was a fun little scene, and I'm glad Hollis got to speak with Molly kind of plainly as a pack member rather than, having that kind of separation. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see the relationships filling out, and also seeing 2 very sensible wolves like connecting over being like, I even saw a flicker too when you 2 were discussing like, what do we do with these moose bodies? Both of you were like, burn, yes. Kind of this moment where you're like, the common sense.
Yeah.
It was cool to see both kind of
yes. Molly starts pulling out the spare can of kerosene / gasoline she keeps on stealing from the charcoal grills at the lodge, and Hollis finally looking at her like, so that's where you hide them?
Divine.
Yeah.
Any other highlights and stuff?
I want to give some stars to Al for a couple of things in this game. We mentioned playing Miriam already. Throwing the disobeying right at the end there perfectly, and also dropping that teaser of Percy's hair starting to fall out right as we had already left and couldn't do anything about it. Just perfectly placed.
You love when I hurt you.
Yep.
It's true. It's true.
Thank you.
It's like, I will also join in with more stars. I would like to say a couple of stars actually to Yasea and Cal here. Yasea for jumping in and actually going for the quick with the moose destruction, as it were.
Yeah, geez, that was cool.
You perfectly went in and kind of protected the pack in a way that even we couldn't do the pack pool stuff for. You gave a semblance of that mechanic that hopefully we'll be able to pull together someday. Cal?
And to be clear, that was risky.
Yeah. That was super freaking risky. You could have had your mouth open. Al could have said, you know, you got some blood in your mouth from that. Like, you were towing a fine freaking line.
It's
and
great
it was
you
beautiful.
rolled double sixes. I'll just say that, because I was hoping. I was just like, please fuck it up, damn it.
Well, listen, you know what they say, when you're presented with serious problems, divide and conquer.
Yeah.
Yep. Wow. But Cal, I will say, you have done a fantastic job of leadering, like alpha-ing. Like, you are in the part where you're kind of uncomfortable as the alpha, as it feels like for Cal's character, as it were. Not only were you, like, again, you're still gonna have to probably make up for what Molly said to you in the ravine in front of Miriam and Priya. Well, I feel like it's like something different, like where if it's in front of Greenforest members, Cal's just like, it's fine. It's within the pack. It's not going to cause too much of a rift because everybody knows and remembers that Molly's just been this.
Yeah.
Pile
Rebellious
here.
teenage daughter.
Rebellious teenage daughter vibes, but that's not the best front to keep to outside pack members. And you are handling it pretty interestingly. I cannot wait for Cal to actually rip Molly a new one, because she needs it. She really does.
Everyone fears a quiet man that gets angry.
Cal is the quiet, soft alpha that Greenforest has never had before, and I think everybody's testing him which way and another, and Molly's the new prod again, as it were, the new thorn.
I appreciate the prodding.
Yeah. Sorry.
I could also throw a couple stars into the pool. We mentioned this briefly on break, but I'll say it for the audience's sake. Al, your descriptions of like body horror and the way you build these descriptions, and like the way you start off with like the most mundane portions of them and slowly build up to the more eccentric, the more insane, like to the point where like I kept thinking you were done. Like, okay, yeah, the moose is hairless. Okay, yeah, the moose has got weird skin. Okay, yeah, it's moving like a zombie. Oh god, it's got human skin for antlers. Like, it just like it was just so well done. I I felt fully like immersed into the storytelling in that moment. I couldn't pull myself out of it. It was so well.
Was it giving you Halloween spooks?
Yeah, good old pre-Halloween spookies. I love it. Similarly, Hollis. Ketlin, I love the way you are playing this character's evolution. I love that, like, we went from an episode 1 where it was, okay, I guess I'll bite this person to get information, I guess, to, like, this immediate moment of, like, no, we're going to burn this thing. Like, it seems like it feels like we're seeing Hollis become more comfortable with this, like, position of spiritual leadership that she has, and that feels really, really important. That I love it as a character. I love watching it. Huge fan of that. So, there's that. And obviously, standard Molly, it's always fun to be the person causing problems. So, keep doing that, obviously. And yeah, other than that, no, I had a lot of fun in the session. I feel like I got to really live in my character for a brief bit and have some fun. I also got to tear a thing in half, which was nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. Great time, great session, great time, everybody.
Yeah. Excellent.
Hell yeah.
So 2 quick check-ins. Sounds like you guys were fine with about okay still. I know that we were okay.
It wasn't too graphic. We all filled in the rest of like the feeling bits and the scent bits after we had taken care of the moose. It was not during while the moose was still all collectively together. We dealt with it in the fallout. So I'm fine because it came piecemeal, not all at once.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. I'm keeping an eye on it, but I just want to make sure if any of you guys are like, ew, I need to tone it down, that's fine too. Who keeps moving that around? I'm looking at
That was me. Accident.
oh, it was you. I see. And then my other thing. Oh, balls. Other thing. Well, it flew out of my head. But I do have. Oh, no, I remember what it was. It was. So today, one thing I tried to focus was getting Yasea some airtime to do badass fucking shit, which I'm really glad did happen. So thank you for hopping on that. I hope you enjoyed it. There will be future soon opportunities to continue that trend, but I hope you enjoyed it. I took your feedback from last time. And I wondered if anybody else had anything that they were kind of craving to see in the next sessions or so that I should keep an ear open for or think about. So if you think of that, you can tell me now, or if you think of one, you can ping me in our Discord. If you're like, ooh, I kind of want to see some of this, then just let me know. I'm totally open to prompts to keep in the back of my mind.
Someone should fuck. I'm just
Not up to me.
no, which is why I'm saying it as a general call, like things I want to see in general. I didn't say specifically from you, just things I want to hey, do it. Let's do the horizontal mambo. Somebody should just get into it. Why not? I'm just saying. Let's stop being cowards about it. That's all. That's all I got.
All right. I'm a fuck Miriam.
You're welcome to try.
You'll die, but have fun.
Nice knowing you, Cal.
Listen, buddy, you're welcome to roll a new character. That's fine. Like, if you're done with Cal's story,
I mean,
that's
if
on
only
you.
if only Percy was actual Percy, I'm pretty sure.
It's never too
we'd
late.
get
It's never too late. It's never too late. It's never too late.
Yeah.
Don't let your dreams be dreams. It's never too late.
Listen. Okay, we set a day up in advance for Percy to come back. Where he requests a day off 3 weeks from now, just so you two can get it on.
If
I'm
only
sure that
Percy
we
could
can
actually do that.
Yeah. If he survives.
Yeah.
Speaking of Percy, I wanted to let it be known with him using Percy's player, Steve and also Rainey were like, hey, we wanted to make him kiss. And they both came to me and I'm like, guys. So let it be known that this is a ship that was brewing, and I will be the understudy for Percy within his limited capacity. But it just made me laugh. Both of you are like, if you want to kiss.
Good.
Okay.
We like good.
All right. So speaking of fucking, let's go ahead and fill in our human and wolf paths and stuff to get your experience bubbled up.
Heck yeah.
Those of you who did experience already, did anybody advance? Yasea, did you already take your human path advance yet? Or do you want to do that now? You did? What did you pick?
I took my extra move.
You took, you did? Which move did you take?
Yes. I now have, I remember when you were knee high, which will combine very well with my Close to the Wild ability.
Nice.
Oh, can you read us what that does?
So Close to the Wild allows me to, if I'm dominating someone in wolf form, I can roll feral instead of teeth. As a reminder, I have +0 in teeth and +3 in feral. And my other move, I remember when you were knee high, is I only have to use the make a challenge move if I'm actively trying to take over the pack. In every other circumstance, I can choose to dominate, including dominating the alpha.
Cool. If only Cal wasn't doing a job.
Well, hey, when you do a better job, I'll be there to ruin it.
No.
Womp womp. Who else filled up their paths?
So we have to fill up both to level up, right?
Yeah, we have to fill up both to level up. That's what it says underneath. When you fill up both tracks, gain another move or +1 to stat of your choice, up to max +3.
Well, you're right.
No. Oh shit! In that case, do we not get? Double check.
Unless I get experience this session to fill up my last wolf path.
Oh my god, Rainey, thank you. You're right. And in the previous times I played, we haven't done it that way.
It's helpful when it's on our character sheets and it's right under the 2 trackers.
Yeah.
Thank you for speaking up. That is very honest of you.
I'll be honest though, I think I like your variant better for shorter games where you don't have much time to like maybe like
Yeah,
easily
we do
fill up
not have
those
as much
tracks.
time.
So I don't
Well,
think I hate your
actually,
variant
then-
personally. And I'm not just saying that
Well,
as the
that
person who
actually
like
makes me
gotta
wonder.
level up, obviously.
Well, no, I agree with you because I would get a level up too.
I also get a level up because of my human.
Me too.
Same.
Wait a sec. Okay, question for the table then. Since
Mhm.
we are gamers that get to make our own damn rules, do you want to play it the way that I've been rolling it, or when you guys stuff? Because this
Yeah.
game's probably only going to be about 4 more sessions, depending
I
on how
like
long.
the way you're doing it. I think it lets us fill
Yeah.
more, like get more advances more than one. Because like I feel like otherwise unless we're like really trying to, we're only gonna get maximum 1 advance. But I think if we can fill
Yeah.
both paths and get 2 advances, that's pretty flames. I fuck with that. Like
Or
I-
if we get more than one advance just because it's either or path.
Exactly.
But, I still like the fact that it has to be one path or the other is all the way full of the 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
no
again, we
combining
are
the
a
two,
shorter
yeah.
campaign. We are a shorter campaign, and you want us to be big ass, cool ass werewolves.
I really
and
want you guys to be cool.
now
You
we're
already are, but I
first
really
we
want
were
you guys
werewolves,
to-
now we're werewolves.
Please. Okay, so if it's okay with everybody, then let it be known, gavel bang, that we're gonna go ahead with the incorrect way that we have been doing it. Where when you
This
fill
is
out,
Neon Lights
a
roleplay.
No,
one of
we're
your
calling it the variant way. That
We don't
this is
let-
a variant that
we
Black
don't let
Armada. If you guys
PDFs.
are
wait,
listening,
let me just check one thing. Is our GM okay with it?
yes, is our GM
That is
okay with
fucking
it?
correct.
Oh, absolutely.
This is
And
Neon
so
Lights
it
roleplay.
is.
We don't
If our
let
GM
PDFs tell us how to how to have fun with our friends. All right, words on paper
Alright.
don't tell me what to do.
It's
I
so
will
true,
also
but I do,
say-
and I'm telling you that you must.
All right, that's fair.
You simply must. All right, perfect. So we'll do that going forward for our game. I'm not going to
Oh,
be
that-
running this for everybody for like a year, so we're going to do a shorter.
Oh, I got it. I
Um,
got it. I got
what
a
is
cool
it?
new move. I got a cool new move.
Oh, you got a move?
I
Okay,
took a
do you wanna
move.
share? We'll hop over to you. Okay, but
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'll
that's okay. No, tell us.
we
What
got to
move
do
did
this
you
in
pick?
proper line order.
We really don't. What move did you pick?
I took Set Apart. For the Prodigal's
Ooh.
playbook, Set Apart is a move that I can take. I take +1 guts, max +3. You have been away a long time. It is easier to resist your nature, traditions, and orders from the Alpha.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
Wow, guts is such a useful,
Yeah.
useful stat.
Also, it makes sense with what Molly has insinuated in that talk with Hollis. Now.
Yeah.
It does.
Cal, did you not level up at all? Did you not take?
I
I've been
just
walking-
leveled up. I filled the
Okay, I
human
was like,
pass.
goddamn.
I filled
Okay,
the
what
human
did you
pass
pick?
when I erased it. I picked up We Are Pack, which is once per session when you make a stirring speech before a common endeavor, tell the pack's shared purpose and your plan. If no one disagrees with the plan and everyone obeys it until its conclusion, add +3 to the pack pool. If someone acts against
Oh,
the
Jesus,
plan,
yeah.
-2 to the pack pool.
God, that move is so
Ooh.
OP.
It's
I
so
remember
great.
that. I've used it before. It's so OP. If everybody's agreeing, it's like, it's great. That was a good pick. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Percy. So Percy's NPC now. I will be playing. He is still the enforcer, but he gets magic NPC powers. I get to do what
Nice.
I want, and it rules. I'm gonna keep his sheet open though because I miss him. Hollis, how about you? Did you do any level ups? For any of
Yes,
the-
I did fill up my human path. I already erased it, but
Okay.
I added +1 to my feral. Actually.
Oh hell yeah! What do you have now?
So,
Oh,
one.
you get some coverage on Feral. Yep, no, you're getting some
Yeah.
balance, which is great.
Mhm.
All right. Okay.
I just
and
feel
so
like that might come in handy soon. So-
I feel like it might as well. Beautiful. Okay, so there's a couple of things before we go through getting more path points individually. I want all of you. When you were at the funeral scene, was everybody in wolf form except Miriam? What was the? Or
I
was
was
everybody in
imagining
different?
myself in human form.
Okay, so tell me now what forms were.
Hmm.
So Cal was human.
I would say I was wolf form, given the whole nature of the ceremony and stuff.
Okay. Tradition. That's you wearing your tux
Mhm.
in your traditional way with your old. All right.
Shining the old silver scars a
Hollis-
little bit.
Yeah.
I'd say I'd actually be in my werewolf form.
Nice.
So, like, the
Hell
hybrid.
yes. Oh my god, my favorite format of all, guys.
Hell yeah.
Rainey, what about you? Or Molly, what about you?
I would have to say, because Molly wasn't feeling like bucking tradition this once, because for her, funerary rites are completely different than rest of pack tradition. She also would have been wolf form.
All right, so for whatever form you said,
Yep.
you guys get to take one path. And the reason for that is because you all displayed your pack culture beautifully tonight. Every single one of you did that unified the tradition that gave us background of story pelt with everybody's contribution in their individual ways to the atmosphere, the offering, who needed the most comfort at the time. All of that was a fantastic show of solidarity. So you get to mark one path for whatever form you're in. And now we're going to go ahead and do our usual, see how we played to our strengths to get another path, hopefully. So starting with Yesaya, can you please tell us what your heartbeats are?
My heartbeats are experienced, scarred, and ending. I feel the only one I can probably justify here is experienced with the way I handled the meese, as it were. But
yes, you did play with experience. You were in human form with that?
I was human form, which is great because I just cleared out my human form.
Yeah.
Also, I got my second advance, friends.
Yeah.
Did you literally? You have your wolf path filled up?
Yeah, you gave me my last wolf path point just now, so I'm
well, okay then. What are you gonna pick?
I gotta think about that one for a little bit, but I can't decide if I want a new move or if I want to just up my stats a little bit, get a little bit beefier. We'll see. We'll figure it out.
All right, let me know at some point or. All right, our beloved Howl, can you please?
Yes, my heartbeats are comforting, persuasive, and calculating.
Excellent. Did you play to any of these heartbeats tonight? Can you?
Persuaded everybody to burn the bodies?
I was also going to say calculating with that too is a very, very clear argument because you were
easily
you were talking about it, you were calculating like the impact the environment just burying these things could be, the nightmare that it would wrought upon us as we're trying to figure what the fuck this is out.
Yeah.
You know?
And remembering the grass thing, I loved your
yeah. Oh no, you cut out.
Oh, I did. I was whispering. Yeah. Sorry, my voice is getting funky. But I really loved one, like the burying in the earth, and then like mentioning that maybe the fawn ate grass or something, and like it was cool to see Hollis's logic, being like, So, but yeah, go ahead and mark a path for whatever. And when you, I don't remember.
I was still in wolf form, I think. So,
all right, wolf path.
Yeah.
Percy, we love you. Steve, shout out to you again.
What?
To do what I'm doing to you, but also Steve already knows some major spoilers, so thanks for your patience in advance. Cal, what are your heartbeats?
My heartbeats are controlled, steady, and protective.
All right. Can you tell us a time why you deserve a path for one of those?
Let's see. I think as much as it was dragging the scene on a little bit, I think controlled in the moose scene for all the different plans that I was trying to come up with to fix the problem without rushing in.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, especially when like you paused and said, no, Mike's reaction was this, Cal's reaction would be this. That was perfect.
Beautiful. All right. Mark your path.
Marked.
Gorgeous. Molly, we just skipped.
No, that was the wolf path. That was like I had my 3 human path when we did the whole everything already covered, and I was waiting for my wolf path to be filled out before we had made the executive decision of either path has to be filled out before I get the thing. So I am fresh, new, clean slate.
Oh, excellent.
And I did do the wolf path.
And I totally forgot.
Yeah, I'm on heartbeats.
Tell me your heartbeats. Tell us.
Tonight, my heartbeat are, as always, my heartbeats are distrustful, vital, and drowning.
Ooh, drowning. Gives me ideas.
Uh-oh.
Metaphorical, literal, but definitely not drowning. I think I guess distrustful. Again, I'd have to argue distrustful again for in the human path form, just because of the shit with Miriam prior to, like the convo with Hollis, but also now the whole like, hey, what's the snapshot of like as we're all hurtling towards this weird person in a kayak from Miriam.
Better not be fucking Tickles.
If it's Tickles, we can push him in. We can push him in. It's fine.
Tickles?
We
I
can
finished what I
push him in and
started.
just hold him there.
Watch his government name be like John Smith or like some like Gerald.
John D.
like-
Tickles.
Gerald. I like you laughed at the name Gerald. But yeah, okay, great. Is there anything else anybody wants to sign off for tonight? Feeling good?
Feeling good.
This is great.
Feeling
Good. This was a great session. Thank you all so much.
was.
I love this game. It is. You always surprise me. So I always look forward to it. But yeah, this has been our Bitemarks Lunar Pulse game hosted by Neon Lights Roleplay. Thank you, Foxy, very much for taking care of our logistics and also hosting the game, amongst other things. It is so appreciated. And to those of you who watch, thanks for coming, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Oh, anybody want to tell us socials? I almost signed us off too early. Do you guys want to promote anything? This is an
It'll be in
important
the
part. I always forget.
card. It'll be in the
You wanna-
card.
It'll be in the card.
I'm so sorry. Wait, no, I have to promote something. I'm so sorry.
Okay,
Just
go
very
ahead.
quickly, if you're in
Go
the
for
Los
it.
Angeles, if you're in the Los Angeles area,
Oh, wait, I should do
specifically,
a thing
we're
too.
having. We're having the first outside of a convention League of Swords show on October 21st in Burbank. So if you want to
okay.
see my baby that is a combination of professional wrestling and sword fights and like 90s Mortal Kombat, you can keep the date in mind. Tickets aren't on sale yet, but I know we're only meeting every 2 weeks, so I wanted to make sure I got that out there. It'll be at Swordplay LA in Burbank on October 21st.
Amazing. Thank you.
Oh.
And the rest
Thing I
of us
should
will be in
also-
the car? Oh,
Yes, yeah, we will in fact be in the card. But a thing I should mention, because that won't be in the card, while it's mentioning, applications are still running for Neon Frights for our 4 Halloween one-shots. There are some Fridays and Saturdays throughout the month of October where we're running some one-shots. We've got sessions being run by Janie Potts, by Tyrant, by Ostermad, and by Legendary Vermin. So if you want to come and hang out and do some charity work while also having some good spooky times with us, please put it in an app. They close in the next few days, and we got to get a few more people in there. So please, if you have a free Friday and Saturday, take a look at the app. Please sign up and let us know if you can play with us. It would be super awesome. That's all I got.
Sweet.
nice.
Joy.
All right. All right, everybody. Good night.
Nice.
Nice.
Good night.